Live, local.
You talk about a guy with chapped cheeks, man.
Like him.
That killed him. Wow.
Sports Radio 560.
Licky, licky, licky.
WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
How dare they drag the good name of the United States of America through the mud of Saddam Hussein's torture prison?
It's Friday, you bastard.
Oh! How dare they drag the good name of the United States of America through the mud of Saddam Hussein's torture prison?
You go, boy. I just get goosebumps every time I play that. I might just play it the whole 4 hours today. What do you say?
Oh!
Huh?
Okay, let's do it.
Over and over again. Get everybody whipped up like a pep rally. Anyway, just calm down. First, a little news from Iraq. Just a little bit. We don't want to get too newsy. That New York illiterate guy from off the streets of the Bronx, he'll be calling in again. How come you're so newsy? Well, because we feel like it, okay? Because, we do whatever the hell we want, generally speaking. Gunmen opened fire on a U.S. Army vehicle today in Najaf's Twin City, wounding 2 American soldiers and raising fears over the agreement struck the day before. In other words, the roadmap's a little bumpy already. To end the bloody standoff around this Shiite holy city. In fact, they're saying, Shiite, here we go again. Elsewhere, U.S. troops escorting a convoy of inmates released from the
Abu Ghraib
prison briefly exchanged fire with assailants today. It was the third major release from the facility since the scandal broke over the abuse of detainees last month. And we found out that 90% of them probably were there for nothing because they just happened to be hanging around.
They're Iraqis. They're terrorists.
They're suspicious, right. But I thought we were freeing the suspicious Iraqis. Anyway, we had 1,660 votes on the poll yet. See, at first it was the weapons of mass destruction. We didn't have any of those. Then it was, Saddam must have been in bed with Osama Yamama. Well, we found out that definitely was not true. And so we had to come up with something. So it's this glorious Operation Iraqi Freedom. Anybody buying that? Only the dumbest of the dumb. Speaking of dumbest of the dumb, wait till we get to that story about the so-called terror alert. Oh, brother. No, seriously, this is just, you talk about playing politics with fear. This is just enough to scare the crap out of anybody,
Hey, there's a danger.
Every time the poll numbers, what have I said consistently right along? Every time the polls come out, it gets worse and worse for the Bush crowd, for this group of Nazis. All of a sudden, some miraculous thing comes along. We just found Saddam. Or, we just had another big terror alert. You better crawl under the bed and get real scared. Yeah. The only thing we have to fear, as Roosevelt would say, is this bunch. Anyway, what big TV hit show of the past 5 years do you think was the biggest piece of schmidt? That's what we asked yesterday. And over 1,660 votes, to be exact. Anna Nicole show wins hands down. Now, you people that faxed in and said she's going to pass all the others like they're standing still, you folks were...
Absolutely correct, sir.
Yeah, 310 for big, fat, disgusting Anna Nicole, who ain't quite as big and fat as before, but still is disgusting. American Idol 295, for those of us who have not the least bit interested. See, this is the bandwagon effect. Oh, you gotta be on American Idol, we're gonna have the winners. And we don't care. See, we refuse to care about crap that we didn't care about it before, so why should we? It's like MASH, 80 trillion people watched the last episode of MASH. Now, if you liked MASH, I can understand that. But if you didn't like it at all, like Seinfeld. Remember the big simus they made about that? Oh, it's the last episode of Seinfeld. You only see it in syndication 8 trillion times. Now, if you didn't like the Seinfeld show, then you probably didn't care about the first episode, the last episode, or any of the ones in between.
Anyway, you're just an anti-Semite.
There you go. I learned it from you. American Idol 295, Survivor 161, Jerry Springer 143, The Simple Life 105. What about the Spooners?
The Honey Spooners.
Yeah, the Silver Spooners. Anyway, Joe Millionaire 104. Ricky Lake 74, she's disgusting. She is nauseating.
Yeah.
Friends 72, the Osbournes 55, the weakest, I can't believe that. This audience, 55 people think the Osbournes is the biggest piece of crap? Shame on you, Sharon!
They just hate the kids. And Sharon.
The weakest link 48, Fear Factor 47, with the old turn of the wicked worm. I hear that muff like that one. Millionaire 44, The Bachelor 39, Big Brother 36, The Bachelorette 32, Meet My Parents 25, no thanks. The Real World 19. The Real World had 19, I didn't even know we put it on there.
Yeah.
What was wrong with that show?
It's stupid, but nevertheless, it's got naked teenagers.
Oh, man. You people better get your priorities straightened out and maybe something else too while we're at it. Back in the day, we could tell you what we're thinking about. The Real World, boy. Becker 14, Sopranos 14, which I know you're not too pleased with that.
Whatever.
Well, that was near the bottom. Frasier 11 and the Wayans brothers had 11. Before the big fight, let's watch the Wayans. What do you say, huh? For my part, now it was Damon Wayans that was in Requiem.
Correct.
There you go. Well, I have trouble getting my Wayans
Yeah, they all look the same to you. I know.
Separated. They all seem the same. Anyway, on our beaded curtain today, we have something extra special Memorial Holiday weekend bonus. No extra charge, 2 for the price. In fact, we got 4 for the price of 1. Well, I mean, 2 pictures.
Right.
And 4 boobies. Huh? In fact, you might kind of call it a booby trap.
And they're a full frontal assault.
Yeah. Nell McAndrew. Now, you were kind of apologizing for this before the show, but I think we struck pay dirt. We got a very patriotic thing. We struck something.
I'd like to.
Right. I bet you would. Anyway, speaking of Nell McAndrew, and people may be wondering, who the hell is that? You don't really care who it is. You just want to see the pictures, but I'll tell you anyway. On November 6, 1973, a star was born in Leeds, England, to a working-class family. What?
Miguel's standing at attention and saluting.
I'll bet he is, huh?
Yeah.
And why not? Any red-blooded spick like him. Tracy, of course, he probably is this weekend be drilling some glory holes over at Hialeah. Now, here they plugged up the old ones.
Oh, damn it.
See, Duff got confused. He thought that here the toilets were plugged up at the tea room, but it turned out that the glory holes got plugged up. So Miguel's got his pneumatic portable drill. Anyway, Tracy McAndrew was ever the athletic one and throughout childhood dreamed of becoming a policewoman. Wow. Who wouldn't want to be frisked by her? What red-blooded American hetero wouldn't want to be working in a bank after she finished school? McAndrew realized that she had a higher calling, and it was modeling, not law enforcement, that lay in her future. Moving to London, McAndrew aggressively shopped her look around. It was the Daily Star newspaper that first latched onto this babe and put her on its front cover. Not much time passed before other publications were asking about this new face, and after entertaining a few other offers, McAndrew took on her first big job as the real-life representation of the video game character Lara Croft. Ever hear of that?
Yeah, Tomb Raider.
No, huh?
Lara Croft, Tomb Raider.
No. To fit the part, she allegedly went from a B cup to a D cup thanks to the wonders of modern medicine. Oh, I'm sorry. That's unfortunate.
Whatever.
Following in the footsteps of such established models as Rona Mitra, McAndrew toured the Tomb Raider heroine for over a year. She toured as the Tomb Raider heroine for over a year, attracting attention at conventions and in print. This experience was regarded by McAndrew as invaluable, though a sour note was left after being denied the opportunity to appear at the British movie premiere of Tomb Raider starring Angelina Jolie. After all, McAndrew was partly responsible for making Lara Croft the cult figure that she be. In '99, she served as co-host of the entertaining British game show It's a Knockout. The hosting job lasted 2 seasons while ratings remained high. At the same time, she served as a VJ on VH1's Spice, continuing to beat down the stigma that Lara Croft models' careers go downhill once the gig is up. And it goes on. Ever the active woman, McAndrew flattered fellow celebrities. She became an entertainment reporter for The Big Breakfast, another Brit show. During this time, she graced the covers of Loaded and Front as well, or they could have put them just together, had Loaded Front. Rounding off a busy couple of years since the start of the millennium, McAndrew got involved in the celebrity survivor show called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here in 2002. And it goes on and on. There you go. She's there. 2 pictures for the price of none. As a little holiday bonus to lift your spirits and lift whatever else she's got there, which is a lot. Let me do the break, because once we get into this Ashcroft stuff, got a little contretemps going on there. Now, after 9/11, we're supposed to have learned those lessons. Remember that about the FBI and the CIA and the agencies weren't communicating well, and they were like protective of their own fiefdoms and all this other crap.
We didn't just learn lessons.
Yeah, now we come to find out that Tom Ridge and the people at the Department of so-called Homeland Security are foaming at the mouth because they weren't invited. They didn't know nothing. And then the mayors are telling us they didn't know nothing either. And then come to find out that of those 7 people, at least 2 of them are in jail and maybe some of them are dead. You remember the pictures he was whipping out the other day?
Right.
Yeah. Maybe Casey Kasem was bugging him. Where are them pictures he was supposed to see? And there was Ashcroft with a picture. So once again, it's just desperation is what it's called. Desperation. And we do have that Zogby thing today about how Kerry is Electoral College kicking ass. So we got a lot of fish to fry today, plus a few of your stellar phone calls, which there just ain't no better in the history of mankind than on the Neil Rogers Show. Trust me.
Oh, God.
When I tell you. There ain't nothing quite like our callers. Thank God. It's 12 minutes past 10 at 560. Oh, and by the way, join the Mad Dog at 2 today as he broadcasts live from Hooters on Pines and University. Stop by for an autograph signing with Marlins pitcher Brad Penny. In fact, Mad Dog said, tastes like a penny to me. Enjoy specials on Heineken, win some prizes. That's Mad Dog and Brad Penny at Hooters in Pembroke Pines, 2 to 4 this afternoon. And join Little George tomorrow noon to 2 at Intel Wireless at 15985 Northwest 57th Avenue, Miami. Stop by to spin that wheel for prizes. That's tomorrow at Intel Wireless, an authorized Verizon wireless agent at noon with little Jorge. You know, Voom, we better tell you about this real loud and clear today a few times because Monday is the deadline for this special deal. Voom is like comparing great, beautiful picture DVDs to scratchy old kinescope. That's how great it is. Voom is high-definition TV delivered by a satellite dish and HD receiver and comes right into your home. Voom is the only entertainment system designed for high-definition TV, specifically. Voom has got the most HD TV you'll find anywhere and provides all the equipment you need to enjoy the ultimate HD TV experience, including your satellite dish, remote, and, of course, HD receiver, too. Voom has got
About 30, man.
over 30 channels of HD programming. You can watch ESPN, for example, in high definition. Reach right in there and pat them athletes right on the butt. That's 3 times more than you get from cable, and they've got all your other favorite channels like HBO, MTV, even your local yokel channels. You can even watch Rick Sanchez on there while he's still on. Voom has got over 120 channels of great entertainment. Voom has exclusive channels, too. Here's the big part of HD movies, music, and sports that you can't even get at all at any price from your cable or satellite company. So with Voom, you got all the channels you get now, plus all these awesome high-definition channels, too. Call Voom today for a limited-time offer, and you better do it right now because the offer ends this Monday, Memorial Day, May 31. Call toll-free 1-866-848-8666 or visit them online at Voom.com. The offer includes free installation, no upfront cost, and no long-term commitment. When in doubt, check it out. Make that call today because time's running out. Call 1-866-848-8666 or online it's Voom.com.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. WQAM.
The good name of the United States of America through the mud of Saddam Hussein's torture prison.
Live in concert. It's Al Gore with Bachman Turner Overdrive. Al Gore and BTO.
You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Al Gore and Bachman Turner Overdrive with backup singer Larry King.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Live in concert. Get your tickets now.
I say to you tonight, and hear me well, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Ghraib.
10:18 at 560 WQM. Happy Friday. Happy Memorial Day holiday weekend. Boy, we can find out today. Well, first of all, here's the really good news. Now, all you people are like picking on poor little George, and sometimes deservedly so, but nevertheless, I take a look at his schedule we got on Monday. Now, of course, it's a big shot like me working on Memorial Day.
No.
You bet your sweet ass I'm not. But at any rate, almost nobody is. The only semblance we have of like a real, regular person on the schedule, well, if you count the big, which I don't, and by the way, get the Mo back. Boy, I never thought I'd be jonesing to hear Mo's voice.
Wow.
You know what? I think that's the strategy of our programming department,
I'm marking it down.
is to put a lot of the big silly Jones for Mo.
Absolutely.
Boy, oh boy, that big O, he is just, I don't want to keep going into it. Well, yes, I do. Anyway, Monday, Curtis, Beast, and Len, because it's a holiday, are going to be on there. And that should be a real, something to sleep through, okay? 6 to 10, 4 hours of that. Wow. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I was about to say, how'd you like to follow that? Then George is going to follow that from 10 to 2, and that's the only, semblance we've got to like anybody that's like on every day.
Yeah, but I ain't going to be talking much.
Why not? No, don't say that. I bet you get a ton of great calls.
I ain't going to be taking any.
You'll get more than we got right now. Although I noticed we had a whole bunch of them before, and if they think I'm going to waste my time, we'll get a few calls in today. Maybe,
About 30, man.
maybe more like 5. We'll get a bunch of them in there because it's a very important holiday weekend. I can't imagine anybody with an IQ larger than their small fingernail being in town now. Now the kids are off from school today, right?
Yes.
And so you
In
got
Broward, anyway. I don't know about Dade.
in so you got basically a 4-day holiday weekend, or at least a 3-day for everybody. And why would anybody hang around when they can go to like drive right up the old highway to Savannah? Or like, you'll see, watch. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Happy Memorial Day.
And back to you. It sounds to me like you're pumping it. Are you at the gas station?
I'm pumping it. Hi, Kelly.
Okay. Let's see, then George then Warren Cromartie from 2 to 3:30. Oh my God, that is unbelievable. Like I've said before, there are people on death row for, lesser crimes than that. Right in the middle of the daytime, no less.
I got your Crobonics right here, homeboy.
And it'll be broadcasting from the ballpark at Gay G, as in God awful.
So do you like the Chromo or the Omo?
The homo.
I like that one.
Yeah.
I'm a homo?
Marlins on deck 3:30 in the Reds and Marlins. Then we got the big
No!
At 7. So I guess just as a gesture of decency to the Big O, he's on too much. Regular. So George will be the closest thing. You ought to kiss George right through the speaker of your radio on Monday. Say, oh, thank God we got at least a familiar voice. Maybe one we don't like, but at least a familiar voice. Something.
I'll just be spinning the hits.
He'll be spinning it. Now, Line 9, I bet, is excited about it. QAM, hello, Line 9.
Hey, what's the poll today?
I beg your pardon?
I didn't hear the poll, I'm sorry.
Well, then just get lost, okay? He didn't hear the poll yet. In fact, we're going to have you climb up it. How do you like that? And maybe monkey around a little bit there at the top.
Oh.
Here's today's poll. I'm glad he asked. I almost forgot about it. I was so excited about that Ashcroft and Tom Ridge stuff and about these 7 desperados. Here's the poll. What movie, not X-rated, is the hottest you've ever seen? And you claim we've done this one before. I don't remember it.
Yes, we did.
Does Josh remember it?
He's not here.
Who's there?
Miguel.
Hola.
Well, where the hell is Josh?
Hola.
Oh, Beaner Boy's here today. No, seriously, has Josh got another busman's holiday today? What's that all about?
In court.
He's in court? Again? Like I said, we got Beaner Boy today. Boy, we seem to have a run on board ops in there. I'll spend all their time in court. Anyway, what movie, not X-rated, is the hottest you've ever seen? Now, I put 3 choices on there, and I think that no matter what your persuasion is, especially friendly persuasion, as Pat Old Boone in the Box would say, you'd have to agree that these are 3 of some of them. Wouldn't you?
Right. They're smoking all right. I added one, though.
Blue Lagoon, these were the 3 that came to my mind. Blue Lagoon, Return to the Blue Lagoon, or Paradise. I bet you I know who liked Paradise.
Absolutely.
Right. With Willie Ames and Phoebe Cates. A lot of naked young people running around in all 3. Yes, and what's the other one?
Body Heat.
Oh, Body Heat, sure. Body Heat. What movie, not X-rated, is the hottest you've ever seen? In fact, maybe watch it on TV and sat real, real close to the screen. Now, see, here's Line 9 again. I bet he's calling back. QAM, hello.
Foxy Brown.
What is it?
Foxy Brown.
Oh, man. Stop and ponder that for a few seconds. Ashcroft assailed on terror warning. Some allies of the Department of Homeland Security within the Bush administration and members of Congress criticized Attorney General John Ashcroft yesterday for issuing terrorist threat warnings at a news conference on Wednesday, contending he failed to coordinate the information with the White House and with Homeland Security. With the White House even. How do you like that? How do you like that? And with the Department of Homeland Security, which has the job of releasing threat warnings, but he just took upon himself, in between covering up all the naked statues, to get everybody whipped up into a frenzy. I guess he saw those latest poll numbers. He's trying to help his buddy Georgie out. With FBI Director Robert S. Mueller III by his side, Ashcroft said at a news conference 2 days ago that credible intelligence from multiple sources indicates that Al-Qaeda plans an attack on the U.S. in the next few months. This disturbing intelligence indicates Al-Qaeda's specific intention is to hit the U.S. hard. He added that the information has been corroborated on a variety of levels.
The sky is falling.
Under the Homeland Security Act of 2002 and Bush administration rules, only the Department of Homeland Security can publicly issue threat warnings, and they must be approved in a complex interagency process involving the White House. Administration officials sympathetic to Homeland Security Secretary Tom Ridge said he wasn't informed that Ashcroft was going to characterize the threat in that way, an assertion that justice officials deny. So once again, while our lives are hanging in the balance, your government can't get their act together. No, you did it. No, we did it. They did it. Yeah, the dog done it. Just like, what's his name said?
What's his
Jason
name?
Williams. The dog done it.
Okay.
It was a suicide. Early yesterday, well, we already know about that. Yesterday, Representative Christopher Cox, Republican of California, chairman of the House Select Committee on Homeland Security and a guardian of Ridge's turf within the administration, released a statement criticizing Ashcroft. He said, "You're an Ashcroft. Dissemination by our government of sensitive terrorism warnings must be closely coordinated across our intelligence and law enforcement communities," Cox said. In the Homeland Security Act, DHS was assigned to the central coordinating role in this process. The absence of Secretary Ridge from yesterday's news conference held by the Attorney General and the Director of the FBI and the conflicting public messages their separate public appearances delivered to the nation suggest that the broad and close interagency consultation we expect and which the law requires did not take place in this case.
Oh, my God.
The American public, state, and local law enforcement, governors and mayors, and private sector officials with responsibility for critical infrastructure all deserve crystal clarity when it comes to terrorism threat advisories Cox be saying. While publicly professing only collegiality and cooperation, Ridge and Ashcroft have occasionally struggled for the past 2 years. They've argued for months over whether Homeland Security agents should investigate terrorism financing, and last year Ridge agreed they could do it only under the FBI's lead. Some administration officials also complained yesterday that Justice Department and FBI officials in private conversations with reporters may have suggested that the latest evidence of a terrorist attack is new when it's about 6 weeks old, officials said. It's old news. An administration official sympathetic to Ridge said there's a concern that this wasn't coordinated by the system DHS has in place to communicate this kind of sensitive information. And, let me do the break, and there are actually some of these, at least 2 of the people are in jail that were on that list with the 7 pictures that he put up there. And the mayors of most of the big cities say, we didn't know nothing about it, nobody told us nothing. So it's great to see, it's a comforting thing to see that your government is really doing a great job of protecting us, right? That's why we place such great trust, at least on the job of fighting terrorism, he'd be doing it, man. That's the one area we still trust the Bushmeister. You know, Fat Boy's a, did I ever tell you that? You're a loser, Fat Boy, okay? You're from the Todd Rex School of Doing Nothing. What an idiot. 26 after 10 at 560 WQAM. Spring into savings right now and save like never before on a great new car or truck from Armstrong Toyota of Homestead. It's easy to get there. They're on US 1, just 20 minutes south of the 836. And it may not be real close to where you are, but it's well worth the drive because they're going to save you thousands on great new Toyotas, even cover the price of gas. Check out these great leases. An 04 Camry or 4Runner for just $269 a month for 48 months. How about an 04 Highlander for just $309 a month? Need a truck? How about an 04 Toyota Tundra, the safest truck in the U.S. of A? You pay just $179 a month for 48 months. And these are just some of the great savings waiting for you right now at Armstrong Toyota of Homestead. And their service department is even open late till 8 weeknights to make sure they get all your stuff done for you. They'll do just about anything under the sun to get you into a Toyota with a great deal. Easy to find them. They're on the corner of US 1 and 293rd Street in Homestead. Like I said, just 20 minutes south of the 836. And here's an extra special reason why you ought to do your car shopping there. Armstrong Toyota of Homestead offers you free tires, free batteries, and replacement parts for the life of your vehicle. That's right, free tires, batteries, and parts for life. Nobody else ever heard of doing that. So forget about the big mega dealers who are full of crap and who scream and holler and carry on and then let you down. Call a GM at Armstrong Toyota of Homestead, David Rich, right now for a deal that is unbeatable. Call 305-242-3247.
Unbelievable.
305-242-3247. Drive a little and save a ton on that great new Toyota only at Armstrong Toyota of Homestead.
Live and local. This is 560. The radio's all yours now. QAM.
I suck. No maybes. I don't move. I'm crazy. I hit the top 40. Shoot on a rock. Right Bruce Lee. Soon it's back to doing laundry. I suck. Oh baby. I suck. Oh baby.
Amen. 1032 at 560 WQM. 9.5 weeks, somebody says. What movie, not X-rated, was the hottest you've ever seen? 9.5 weeks?
Told you they'd say that.
We knew that was coming in. Also, I knew this would be coming in, too. See, you're burying yourself. Bruce and Wilton Manor suggest, butch up a little bit, Bruce, will you please? People are starting to talk. And Norma can't quit sending me all your self-aggrandizing crap. Nobody cares. Just leave me alone. Dear Neil, why can't Suds be your regular guest host? It would make your serial vacations a lot more palatable for us listeners, says Bruce. I'll tell you the main reason that Suds ain't going to be our guest host is that he wants to get paid. In addition, and then the second reason after that is Suds doesn't do shows. He's a co-host. He's a professional co-host and free lunch eater. And that's it. I never have been able to figure that out, but he just doesn't want to do shows alone. Am I right?
No, he said he'd be more than happy to do shows alone.
He did?
I've heard him say that before.
When did he say that?
Oh, here and there.
How come when Rick wasn't there, Suds would do like about 20 minutes and then would call in sick from the other, he'd run in the other room and call in sick.
Is that how it happened? I think Gary Bruce didn't like him or something.
Oh, is that it? Well, at any rate, that's the deal. Suds ain't going to be. We're not paying somebody extra. And just, like I said, see, there you go. That's the South Florida crowd for. I give them the good news that George is going to work on a holiday on Memorial Day because we haven't got anybody else, quite frankly, and we aren't going to play some of those stupid old tapes. We could, but we don't want to do that. So we have George coming on the air on a holiday, no less, and that's the gratitude you got. Oh, could you put Suds on there? Yeah.
Where do you work, Bruce? Let's go critique your job.
WQAM, hello.
Cutler Ridge.
Let's go to Cutler Ridge. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Showgirls.
Showgirls?
That did it for me.
Okay, thanks, Pally. Don't forget of Nella McAndrews, speaking of showgirls, she's showing it. 2 pictures for the price of 1. And waving Old Glory there for Memorial Day on top of it. You can't get more patriotic than that. Oh, so anyway, getting back to this. At least 2 of the terrorists identified by John Ashcroft as part of an al-Qaeda cell that's waiting to attack America this summer are already in jail.
Oh, my God.
Oh. A respected website that holds databases on terror suspects lists Amir al-Mati is incarcerated. Likewise, Afia Siddiqui, a female former MIT student, was arrested in Pakistan over a year ago, according to NBC. And the cell that these individuals are said to belong to doesn't even exist. The Abu Hafs al-Masri group was described by the Boston Globe as a phantom organization, kind of like the Florida Panthers, a phantom organization. The researchers could find no evidence that the group was real, or is real. Each time a new terror threat is announced or a terror suspect is captured, we discover they've either already been arrested or they've been dead for a year or more. Furthermore, and here's the part that really makes you scratch your head and wonder and be pretty damn positive when you come right down to it. You don't have to wonder too much. Furthermore, New York City and Los Angeles officials told Reuters that they hadn't been informed by the government of any terror threat, despite the fact that people like Ashcroft and Ridge are all over the media fear-mongering about the inevitability of an attack before the election. Oh, brother. It's the... You think you knew something about the fear factor? This is the real fear factor, okay? Forget about stupid TV shows. Forget about eating the wicked worm, okay? It's the fear factor, parts 1 through 100 with the Bush crowd, with the Nazi plan. Yeah. Better believe it.
Abu Ghraib.
Right. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, why don't we put body heat up on there, too?
Body heat? Did we just put that on there?
Yeah, I put it on there.
In fact, it's leading. It's got 16 votes. Thank you. Thanks. See, it's my fault. I should have told how it's going so far. Body heat's got 16. Return to the Blue Lagoon's got 3. The original Blue Lagoon 3, which I guess depends on who you like. Now, let's see. I know nobody's going to know the names of Return to the Blue Lagoon because they're like European kids.
What do you mean nobody's going to know? I know the girl's name.
Blue Lagoon was Chris Atkins and, don't tell Brooke Shields.
Right. Return to the Blue Lagoon was Mila Jovovich, who we've had on the beaded curtain before, or behind it, and some guy.
Some Czechoslovakian guy, or whatever the hell he was. Some hot European guy. Body Heat 17, Blue Lagoon 5, Showgirls 3, Return to the Blue Lagoons 3, 9.5 Weeks 1, and Paradise has got 1. And how many votes we got so far?
About 30, man.
It just went up there. It just popped up. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon line. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, Neil, I got a new word for you.
Yeah.
It's going to describe George Bush and all his followers and cronies. They're the Bush bags.
Oh, I like that. Don't be a Bush bag.
There you go.
And so far, as of right now, we can still say it.
That's right.
Okay, thanks, Pally. And have a great holiday weekend. Boy, I had a nice echo on that call, didn't we?
That was good.
Let me give Fat Boy an echo, okay? You are an idiot, Fat Boy. You're a liar. You're a do-nothing. You're just full of crap, man. Don't ever darken our door again. I don't want nothing to do with him. Him and Todd Dreck, the two can elope. Go to Providence. Go to P-Town over the weekend. Or just go to town and pee. WQAM, hello.
Yes, hi, how are you?
Pretty good.
I have a film, I can't remember the name of it, but it has Susan Sarandon and Catherine Deneuve, and they have a very sensual...
The Hunger.
The Hunger. There
Yeah,
you go.
good choice. Hunger.
Okay.
And sounds like aptly named.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, thanks, pal.
Okay.
Have a great weekend. The Hunger, really? I never seen that.
Oh, yeah, it's a good watch. David Bowie's in it as well.
Oh, well, nothing's perfect.
Nothing for you.
I see. That sounds like a line from Godfather 3. When Andy Garcia was waltzing around handing out the envelopes with all the big cash in there. And there's Joey Zaza. Nothing for you. Remember that?
Sure.
Joey Zaza. That was about the only good thing Andy Garcia did in the whole movie is when he shot
Right.
Joey Zaza. That was
That
on
was
the horse, no less. Joey Zaza. That was good. WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I'd have to say Eyes Wide Shut.
What is it?
Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman.
Okay, well, whatever you like. Okay, thanks. He liked it. He must be the only one, I guess.
Boy.
He liked it.
It wasn't so much erotic as it was really long and boring.
And aggravating. Hey, listen, everybody needs to make a buck, and this guy, he liked it, okay? In fact, he's probably watching it right now, real close. He's probably got his DVD and his hand in his BBD.
And his
eyes don't say
shut.
that. 5670560. Father Gagan, by the way, only put his hands in that one little boy's shorts and squeezed his cheeks a little bit. That one. That was, and I'm thinking, I said to George before the show today, I'm thinking it might be a really good idea to find a guy that offed Father Gagan on the inside in the slammer.
Right.
So that when Michael Jackson goes to the big house, if that should happen, and it looks increasingly like they're peeing in their pants that it just might, the same guy can be in there with Michael Motorcycle.
He's a real American hero.
See, one thing that they really don't like inside the slammer, they don't like pedophiles. They have this thing about that. They don't like child molesters. And as a result, when they put him in the big house, they tend not to like Jeffrey Dahmer. Remember Jeffrey Dahmer?
Sure.
Who could forget? Didn't stick around too long. Didn't take up too many of the taxpayer dollars. Thank the Lord.
Oh, God.
20 before 11 at 560 QAM.
We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Drag the good name of the United States of America through the mud of Saddam Hussein's torture prison.
They're gonna sink their teeth right into Condoleezza. For every Democrat I know it's gonna please ya. Either you or Clark is lying, Condoleezza. Hey, Condoleezza, right.
Now they get to question Condoleezza, and sitting there, no one wants to be ya. They didn't get hurt, another got hurt, another they've come to grill her. Richard Clark, she's a smart. We just can't wait for this whole thing to start.
They're gonna sink their teeth right into Condoleezza. For every Democrat I know it's gonna please ya. Either you or Clark is lying, Condoleezza. Hey, Condoleezza, right.
Oh, look at that new picture we just got from
Abu Ghraib.
See that, the one with the old Pat Boone in the box. And Lindy seems to be giving the old thumbs up on that one. How do you like that? She's easy to please. That's what I heard.
She's just easy.
Chasing Poppy, is that it? Pappy? Poopy? What is that?
Chasing Poppy.
Chasing Poppy. Poppy. No
Yes,
sex acts, explicit or implicit, but it says, oh my God.
Oh my God.
That's what it says. You seen that?
No.
Well, what is it? How do you know what it is?
I heard about it. I saw the previews.
And what did you hear?
That it was, there's no nudity, but it has Sofia Vergara in it, so how could it be bad?
Well, what's not to like? Girls Gone Wild. There's John in Columbia, South Carolina, who desperately needs to tell America.
I have no life.
But I think we already figured that out. Basic Instinct, for sure.
Okay. Didn't we put that on?
What?
I thought somebody already said that.
I don't think so. Well, maybe they did.
All right.
I'm busy rebooting. I'm rebooting and hooting and hollering.
Okay.
2 Noon Junction and Summer Lovers. It
2
says.
Moon. 2 Moon Junction.
What is it?
2 Moon.
What did I say?
Noon.
Moon.
Junction.
Yeah.
And Summer Lovers with Daryl Hannah and Valerie Quinessen. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And the other mermaids in that one, too, I think. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon. At least Tom Hanks ain't in that one, thank the Lord for that. Oh, brother. Too bad he couldn't have hopped into the bathtub and drowned. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon line. What movie not X-rated is the hottest you ever have been seeing? WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes,
I
sir.
got a movie for you. I don't know the title. It's where Billy Bob Inbreed and Halle Berry are in it. I only watched 5 minutes of it, so it's that one movie
Monsters Ball, man.
There
Monsters
you go,
Ball.
yeah.
That's like just 10 minutes ago, right?
Good choice.
Right.
Okay, thanks a lot, pal.
Good movie.
Commercial? Listen, there's a commercial you guys have on.
Yeah.
You still with me? To the STLE, take your ticket, and stick it where you can't lick it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with him. In fact, we got a message, okay, for the people. Not that we don't want to take their money, because we'll take anybody's money on this radio station, as you know. But our message to the people that want to, like the seatbelt police.
Lick it and stick it.
Yeah, that's my message, okay? Do they click it, stick it, lick it?
Lick it and stick it.
Yeah.
Hey, they don't want to write a ticket, but they
Oh,
will.
yeah. Oh. No, they don't want to write a ticket. They want to write about 50,000. If not 50,000, maybe
About 30, man.
30,000. That's the new quota. Get out of our face, okay, with your little book of tickets. Go save somebody's life. Go do something worthwhile. Go find some lost puppies or something and do something useful and get out of our face with your damn radar guns. You idiots, you clowns, you silly people, you. Body heat. Well, let's see what we got on here, because I just rebooted this whole thing. What movie, not X-rated, is the hottest you've ever seen? Body Heat, 25. 9.5 weeks, 19. The Old Blue Lagoon has got 9. Showgirls, 8. Return to the Blue Lagoon, 4. Paradise has got a pair. Eyes Wide Shut has got 1. Hunger has got 1. And none yet for Basic Instinct, Two Moon Junction, Cockamoon Junction, Summer Lover, or Monsters Balls out of the first 69. Can I say that?
No.
WQAM, hello. QAM, hello. Can we make it 0 for 3? WQAM, hello.
Yeah, I have a movie, a hot movie, Unfaithful.
Unfaithful?
Unfaithful.
That's what I thought you just said. Okay, thank you, sir. Unfaithful. You got it?
We got it.
Is Mary Ann faithful in it?
No.
Oh, then it might just be pretty good. Spammer sentenced to 7 years in prison. You seen this story?
No, I have not. I heard that they caught him, but not the...
Big Schwarzer with a big heavy pupik. Howard Carmack. They caught him on the tarmac. Buffalo, New York. Boy, we know all the stuff that goes on in Buffalo, man, and none of it's good. There ain't nothing good happening in Buffalo. Except maybe for the people that got out. Nothing good happening in Tonawanda, in Cheektowaga, Lackawanna, Hamburg, Fredonia, Depew, Erie. What's the other one? It's Leroy. A man who sent 850 million junk emails through accounts he opened with stolen identities was sentenced up to 7 years in prison yesterday. He sent 850 million junk emails through accounts he opened with stolen identities. Atlanta-based Earthlink Inc. said it hoped the sentence in an earlier $16.4 million civil judgment against Howard Carmack will deter other spammers. I hate spam. And you, of course, should know better than anybody. Spam is for Goyim.
Right.
Before spammers send one more spam email with what?
And Hawaiians, they love it.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they got those big fat pupiks like that.
By the case.
Before spammers send more and more spam email, we should let them remember what happened to Howard Carmack can happen to them, said Karen Casion, Earthlink's Assistant General Counsel. Jurors sentenced Carmack to 7 years for convictions in March of forgery, identity theft, and falsifying business records. He must serve a minimum 3.5 years. Earthlink said Carmack ran 343 illegal email accounts under phony names from 2002 until his arrest last May, using them to send unsolicited email ads for things like get-rich-quick schemes and sexual enhancers. Now we know where all that crap came from. And by the way, Howard, they didn't work. Carmack told the judge he believed the case against him was overblown, saying there were no victims. I obviously regret this whole involvement, he said. Carmack was convicted of defrauding Earthlink and 8 men from New York, Ohio, Washington, D.C. last May. The company won a civil judgment of $16.4 million against Carmack. You think they're going to collect? Right.
No.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. We got Mad Dog at Hooters in the Pines today at 2. The Humper's on a whole 3 hours today. Boy, you better be working it out for that. My commiserations to Hank. 4 to 7 for the Hebrew Hammer. 7 o'clock Marlins on deck. The Mets at the Marlins. Boy, that wasn't much of a road trip, was it?
No.
What did they play? Just No, seriously. What kind of a road trip was that? They went to Cincinnati. Where did they play before that?
Here.
They were in town before that. They go to Cincinnati for one series, and now they're back home again. Boy, nice schedule. Mets at the Marlins at 7:35 tonight. Eddie K after the baseball game. How about those Tampa Bay Lightning, baby?
Oh!
I bet you everybody in town is over in Tampa right now celebrating, partying, going nuts. Wild Thing, somebody says.
Good church.
Okay. Secretary.
Never saw it.
Well, somebody says it did double the trouble. I can't go, yeah, something like that. Right. So there, the list is growing, and evidently something else is too. Don't forget to take a peek at Nell McAndrew. Speaking of double the trouble, we got a quadruple shot of something on there for you. Doctor charged with diluting cancer drug. Man, I hate when they do that. Coral Gables urologist Paul Perito was arrested yesterday, accused of selling diluted cancer and AIDS medications, sometimes from the Homestead strip club that he owns, in a scheme alleged to have netted almost $60 million for all the participants. Also arrested was his business partner, Nicholas Just, or is that Just? Just used. Those arrests are the latest after 24 others made over the past 15 months in the far-reaching case. Perito 42 and Used 47 are charged with racketeering, conspiracy to commit racketeering, organized scheme to defraud, product tampering, vending of counterfeit drugs, and the purchase of prescription drugs from an unlicensed person. The most serious charges are punishable by up to
about 30, man.
Years in prison. The state plans to seek forfeiture of the strip club and is moving to revoke its liquor license as well. Perito's attorney, Brian Tannenbaum, said the doctor intended to plead not guilty. Perito remained in jail late last night with bail set at $2.6 million. Juiced was also in jail, Tannenbaum said. I don't know how to pronounce that. A spokesman for Just could not be located. An affidavit filed by Agent Gary Vanima of the Florida Department of Law Enforcement presented a lurid description of the urologist dealing illicit prescription drugs from Playpen South on South Dixie Highway in Homestead. I bet you guys are familiar with that. The Playpen South.
Never heard of it.
Oh, well, you did now. So if you need any good drugs. The doctor also is alleged to have received large amounts of cash there and to have used controlled substances himself, sometimes with a stripper named Barbie, according to an eyewitness whose name was concealed in the affidavit. A stripper named Barbie, and I'm sure you must have that. You were playing it before the show today.
Yes. As a matter of fact, Miguel was.
Yeah. The idea that somebody can be so cruel as to be willing to profit by weakening life-saving drugs to cause the suffering of another human being is just outrageous. Florida Attorney General Miss Charlie Crist said in a telephone interview, the investigation is continuing. Miss Crist was pissed. There you go. A stripper named Barbie. The accounts of at least 2 witnesses were backed up by examination of bank records, and it goes on and on and on. Bad stuff, and it goes in great detail. It's in the Herald today, so for once maybe they got a story right. I doubt it, but they got some of the facts right. 5670560, pound 560. So have you ever seen Charlie Crist, Mark Foley, and Janet Reno together? Huh? Ever seen the two of them together? And Norma Kent. WQAM, hello.
Yes, may I speak with Neil, please?
Speaking.
Neil, how you doing? This is, I Have No Life, man, checking in. I have no life.
Okay.
Check it out. I know you guys are talking about spanky movies. I got to give you my personal fave. Embrace of the Vampire with Alyssa Milano.
All right.
Let me tell you, if God were breast, it would be Alyssa. God bless. Take care, man.
Okay. What do you say, God breast? 5670560, pound 560 on the 18. Now, Alyssa Milano, she was on our beaded curtain right not too long ago?
Yes.
Yes, she absolutely was. Today we got Nell McAndrew. I don't want to, pump that too much, but I just...
I do.
I know. That was why I said it. Give you the opportunity to move right in. Move back in. Or as Michael said, step back in. See, a lot of movies that you know the dialogue by heart because you've seen them so many times, that movie you're trying to forget the dialogue, quite frankly. Right. Although I do like where she says, Dad, Dad, Mary. Boy. Anyway, what do we got? Body Heat 36, 9.5 weeks, 28. Blue Lagoon, 14. Showgirls 8. Basic Instinct 7. Eyes Wide Shut 4. Return to the Blue Lagoon 4. Oh, by the way, Sheridan and Luis are underwater again. Monsters Ball 3. Two Moon Junction 2. Paradise 2. That's right, Luis came out and he's... Now, can you explain that to me, why they always spit the water up out of their lungs when they're saving somebody that was almost drowning? They always, spit the water out.
Yeah.
Is the water coming out of their lungs? Is that it?
Right, they got water in their lungs. They gulped some down.
They gulped it? Monsters Ball 3, Two Moon Junction's got a pair, Paradise had a pair, and I think they belong to Willie Ames, and they also belong to Phoebe Cates.
Yeah,
depends on which pair you were checking out. The Hunger 2, Unfaithful 1, and no votes, none, for Summer Lovers, Wild Things, Secretary, and Embrace of the Vampire. If you watch Paradise, then you'll understand why Scott Baio's always laughing at Willie Ames in that show. And you'll understand why Charles is in charge. We can't tell you what he's in charge of. Muff might tell you.
Rectum.
1057 at 560. WQAM if you're on one of those low-carb diets. The Atkins, the South Beach diet, God forbid. Sugar Busters or any low-carb, sugar-free diet. The store you need to do a lot of shopping at and stock up on all kinds of great goodies is Delights of West Boca, the #1 low-carb store in America. Now, many of the new reduced-carb products on the store shelves are geared toward just cutting back on carbs, cutting down carbs, but not on losing weight. Well, that's just a waste of time. Delights of West Boca's expertise has always been and continues to be on the weight loss phase of low-carb dieting for all of us fat farts. Delights carries over 1,000 products with a focus toward the lowest carbs possible that can fit into a successful weight-losing low-carb plan. The spring sale is in full swing right now at Delights, so stop on by. Their staff knows low-carb dieting. They're experts on it, and they're open every day, 7 days a week from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. Delights of West Boca, you'll still find them on the northeast corner of Glades and 441, right next to Boston Market, or you can give them a call at 1-877-LOW-CARB, LOWCARB, or on the web, it's lowcarb.com. Don't forget, Delights of West Boca truly is your official Atkins Retail Center.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560, QAM.
Friday, you bastards.
What's the problem, officer?
Deploy from the vehicle.
But what?
If you're caught driving without a seatbelt, you will be removed from your car and shot. The police now have the authority to enforce seatbelt safety under the new Patriot Act 2. The new law is in effect now, so click it or be shot. Officers don't like doing this. They are only following orders. It's for your own protection in the never-ending fight against terrorism. Terrorist acts such as mouth noise, burping, and farting could be annoying to others. So under Patriot Act 2, eating will no longer be permitted in restaurants. Anyone eating outside the designated eating area will also be shot. It's the law. We like saying that. The law. The law. The law. The law. The law. It's the law.
Lick it and stick it.
You know, I'm going to play that again, and this time I'm going to be able to do it. See, I forgot that was in there, and I bet you did too.
What?
What they didn't hear.
Oh, I didn't hear it either.
Anyway, I dumped it.
Okay.
What are you giving me okay?
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't hear anything.
What's the problem, officer?
Deploy from the vehicle.
But what?
If you're caught driving without a seatbelt, you will be removed from your car and shot. The police now have the authority to enforce seatbelt safety under the new Patriot Act 2. The new law is in effect now, so click it or be shot. Officers don't like doing this. They are only following orders. It's for your own protection in the never-ending fight against terrorism. Terrorist acts such as mouth noise, burping, and be annoying to others. So under Patriot Act 2, eating will no longer be permitted in restaurants. Anyone eating outside the designated eating area will also be shot. It's the law. The law. We like saying that. The law. The law. The law. The law. The law. It's the law.
So I guess there's one I can, in my spare time, straighten that one out myself.
You know, it doesn't set off any alarms.
What do you mean by that?
It's so innocuous. You get like a lifetime to get used to certain sounds all over again.
Well, it better set off an alarm, mister. If you know what's good for, I'll tell you that right now. That farting sound in there. Yeah, it better set off all kinds of bells and things. Okay, here's a bunch of faxes on our poll today. What movie not X-rated is the hottest you've ever seen? No Mercy, Richard Gere and Kim Basinger, says somebody. No Mercy.
Okay.
Paul in Miami, unfortunately, I think has made a mistake, although it could be my bad. We'll see. He says Swept Away, the original only, and he says Last Tango in Paris, which I do believe was got the X rating, didn't it?
You know, I think initially it did. You could be right.
I better look it up.
I think you're right.
Well, no, I mean, there were movies like Caligula and Last Tango in Paris that were X-rated, and we're saying specifically not X-rated. Now, when we're saying not X-rated, we're talking about porno movies,
right.
But nevertheless.
What's that cowboy picture? Midnight Cowboy?
Oh! Well, there was nothing sexy in that, including John Boyd.
But I heard it was X-rated.
Yeah. Well, he was a hustler, you know.
No, I don't.
He and Ratso were... You never saw Midnight Cowboy?
No, I didn't.
I'll tell you one thing, you probably...
He's an urban cowboy.
One of my gay acquaintances put Cruisin' on once. I think that'll do.
Oh, jeez.
That cured me of any other kind of movie like that.
Well, that was not what Midnight Cowboy was, yeah.
Well, whatever.
What am I looking up while you're talking about cramp? Last Temptation of Christ. Oh, I'm sorry. Last Tango in Paris.
I want you to cut your fingernails off so you can stick your fingers.
And then it's quoting Marlon Brando in here with words that we obviously can't use on the air, especially after we nearly had that fart sound on the air. The monumental, does it say what's rated here?
I don't know. Let me go to IMDb.
It doesn't even say that. Bada-beep, bada-boop, bada-bop. I'm sure that Last Tango in Paris got an X rating, but you look it up, and if not, we'll put it on there. In fact, maybe we'll put it on there anyway because it wasn't like a porno movie. The story of... Oh! I didn't know they made a movie about him. How do you like that? The story of... Oh! Do you know what that movie is?
I know about the book. It's a S&M kind of thing. They kidnap this chick and make her be a slave.
Oh, and then they sent her off to...
Abu Ghraib.
Right. Okay, so we'll check on some of these, okay? Because now it's getting into more like work, which we're not too happy about. Hottest movie, The Grasshopper, says somebody. I think Dennis Hopper was in that, wasn't he?
Never heard of it.
Grasshopper. Well, I'll put it on there anyway, just to satisfy them. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Actually, we got a battle there. I guess we figured that already. 9.5 weeks in body heat.
It's rated NC-17 now.
What is?
But
Last Tango?
But it was originally X.
Well, we don't care about that, what it was originally. If it's NC-17, if it's good enough, which means, what does that mean? That is X.
No, not really.
It's not R. It's the next step up between R and X. Lax. I'm telling you. Put it on there anyway.
All right.
Because I'm sure it'll get some votes. WQAM, hello.
Hey, what's up?
Yes, sir.
That's funny you have that bit from, about the law. I got stopped by a cop the other day.
Yeah.
And she goes, you know why I'm stopping you? I said, no. And she goes, I think you weren't wearing your seatbelt. And I was. And I said, oh, I'm very much aware of the law. And I said, what's it called, chicken and biscuits? And she goes, no, it's click it and ticket. I said, pick it and flick it.
Oh.
You can do that in your car.
Huh?
You can do that in your car. It's still legal.
You can click it and stick it.
And pick it and flick it.
That's what Muff said.
Rectum.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Well, we sure got a lot. I don't think I'm going to get to most of this stuff here. I don't think they really care, though, today, you know?
What?
I do.
It's Friday.
Huh?
It's Friday.
Well, I got a whole pile of stuff. No, it's not your stuff. Oh, the Army is short 300 million bullets. We'll get to that story a little later.
They better aim
Time
better.
permitting. WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Like to speak to Neil?
Speaking.
Neil?
Yes.
Is this really Neil?
No, it's just a mistake. See, I don't have time to deal with dullards, you know what I mean?
I have no life.
Oh, brother. Is this Neil? Is this really Neil? I mean, the real Neil? No, wrong number.
Real Yellow Pages.
Yeah, it's the wrong number. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, Uncle Neil, God Almighty.
Yes, sir, speaking.
How you doing, sir? Happy
All right.
Memorial Day.
And back to
Listen,
you.
Wild Orchid, kind of like a remake of 9.5 Weeks, but hotter.
All right, thank you.
I don't know who's in it with her, but I'm not sure. And I have a question about the Godfather. If you'll give me 2 more seconds.
Who is it?
The one where
wait a minute.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Wild Orchid.
George is answering the question. If you'll listen, if you just calm down.
I'm sorry, sir.
Kerry Otis, who we've had behind.
Kerry Otis, yeah.
The elevator lady.
Yeah, she's very, very, very hot, but it's kind of like a 9.5, but it's hotter. My Godfather question is this: when Tom Hagen goes to talk to the picture director, doesn't he say Walsk?
Well, let me tell you something, my friend.
He says what?
He says Walsk instead of Waltz. It's supposed to be Waltz with a Z, but doesn't he say, I'd like to take a little bit of your time, and doesn't he say Walsk is listening? Is that?
Yeah, he actually does say that, but how do you know it's supposed to be with a Z? How do you know his name wasn't Waltz?
Because when he drives up into the thing, it says Waltz, W-O-L-T-S picture, T-Z pictures.
Yeah,
Waltz.
well, maybe he still had some lunch in his mouth or something. I don't know, but you're right. He does say that.
He was spitting all over Tom Hagen at the dinner table. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem. Maybe he's just a spitter. He's got a little mush mouth problem. Have a great day, pal.
Thank you, sir.
See ya. Well, see, that's a very perspicacious, because I thought I was the only one that ever noticed that. He says, Waltz is listening. He doesn't say Waltz. Waltz is listening.
Yeah, you're right.
And then he says...
Well, let me tell you something, my Mick friend.
Yeah. Oh, boy. So good. And the fact that there actually are people alive out there who haven't seen any of The Godfather, I mean, that just makes you want to sit down on a curb somewhere and cry for hours.
Who needs them?
So you do it.
No.
WQAM, hello.
Neil, how about the Real World Cancun? They actually made a movie.
Real World Cancun?
Yeah, it came out like a year ago, I think.
How come I missed it?
Well, there's this part where you can see Mark's webbed feet, and then you can see he had a...
Okay, great. 567-0560. Oh, God.
Wake up, George.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, what's George's problem now?
Oh, no, I'm fine.
Did I miss something?
No, it's just Miguel trying to get me in trouble.
Why, because these calls are putting you into a coma? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, just that one.
Oh. 567-0560, pound, why? And can you explain it to me? I'm a little bit slow.
Gay.
Oh. Speaking of that, what a great segue. The family of Michael Jackson's alleged molestation victim is suing child welfare officials seeking financial damages over a leak in the case, lawyers said. There's a leak. The action marks the first time the family of the boy, now believed to be 14, has sought financial compensation in the Jackson case, raising fresh speculation over whether cash could be a motivating factor in the affair. Well, you know that's what they were going to say.
Right.
The family filed a lawsuit against the L.A. Department of Child and Family Services over the leaking of a confidential memo that said a departmental investigation had found that there was no evidence to suggest Jackson had sexually assaulted the boy. Attorney Larry Feldman, who filed the suit on behalf of the youngster's family, which Jackson is accused of attempting to extort money from, said it sought monetary sanctions from the DCFS's alleged violation of the family's privacy. The memo said that L.A. police and child welfare officials concluded in the probe that was carried out last year before charges were laid against him in Santa Barbara that the child sex abuse allegations against Jackson were unfounded. The family claims in its suit that it seeks financial damages from the department because officials did not have the human decency to apologize for violating their privacy. DCFS officials said they were aggressively pursuing an investigation into how the document was leaked. A hearing on the case is taking place in Santa Maria today. Jackson, of course, will not be there, which is why there's no big crowd, and there's nobody screaming and yelling, and they're not jumping up and down, and the media don't give a flying crap, because he ain't going to be there. Ready for that?
No, I'm not.
Why don't they just get it over with already and put him in Father Gagan's old cell, and let's move on with some important business. Cut the crap already.
Father Gagan.
Join the Mad Dog at 2 today as he broadcasts his show live from Hooters on Pines and University. Stop by for an autograph signing with Marlins pitcher Brad Penny. Enjoy specials on Heineken and win some prizes, too. That's Mad Dog and Brad Penny at the Hooters in Pembroke Pines 2 to 4 today. And then join Little George tomorrow from noon to 2 at Intel Wireless. I bet you the guy with the eyes, the guy with the fanny pack, all your favorites will be there tomorrow.
No, it's in Dade, South Dade.
Noon to 2. They'll still drive on down. Located at 15985 Northwest 57th Avenue, Miami. Oh. They got nothing else going on. Drive on down and visit Little George. Stop by to spin that veal for prizes. That's tomorrow at Intel Wireless, an authorized Verizon, whatever it is, wireless agent, noon to 2 tomorrow. With Little George and his usual cast of misfits who follow him around. 11:13 at 560 WQAM. Are you still a little bit nervous about buying your bed over the phone, sight unseen? Have no fear. Because for over 25 years, millions of people, including yours truly, have dialed 1-800-MATTRESS, M-A-T-T-R-E-S, for the lowest prices on the best brands in bedding. The easiest possible way to get you a great night's sleep. There's no risk because if it's not perfect in every way, just call them back for a full comfort exchange. It's completely free within
about 30
days. No extra fees, no strings attached. Dial Mattress is ranked number 1 in customer satisfaction. They were winners of the 2004 Better Business Bureau Local Torch of Excellence Award, too. So you can't beat them. When you call 1-800-MATTRESS, you'll get the best prices on the best brands with delivery on your schedule. You pick that 2-hour window when it's convenient for you and the best customer service in the business. Why would you waste any of your time and cash, schlepping from showroom to showroom? Dial Mattress has got the complete line of Sealy, Serta, King Coil, Simmons, Tempur-Pedic, even Stearns and Foster Hewitt. From Kendall to Stewart, Palm Beach to Fort Myers, Dial Mattress is delivering the finest bedding in the universe. Just make that one easy call. They'll be knocking on your door whenever you like. Call 1-800-MATTRESS. 1-800-MATTRES or check them out online at mattress.com.
Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Goldie Show, the Goldie Show. Hiya, everybody. Welcome to the Goldie Show. I'm going to change the face of sports radio. 'Cause now I'm the voice of the Panthers. And an elephant of moderate radio. Oh, boy! I got lots to do here, like talk to the same 3 callers about sports. And sports. I even got lots of hilarious comedy bits.
Coach Coker, I'm a Coker head.
Take that, Mo, you old cocker. I'm the star now with my own 2 solid hours of spots. You're washed up. Now you're the bum. You can't hit me no more. You can't hit me no.
What do you think, I can't hear you? You're on the radio, you moron.
Oh, hi, Mo.
Hey, look, maybe I was a little out of line. The things I said hit you like that.
Yeah, you were. And I'm not gay.
Sure, I know. In all fairness, that big fat old guy they stuck me with kisses me like you used to do, but he's not you.
That's so sweet. You make me almost want to come back with you.
Gildy, yesterday my life was filled with joy.
Ow!
Gildy, now I'm stuck with a guava-loving goy. You're my best sidekick and foil. I miss how you talk like a goyle. Gildy, a sport-hole Jew. I miss you.
Homo. That chance I'll come back, you monkey. Momo. I ain't worth getting smacked on the show that stinks. Pack a sandwich and have a good time while you're waiting on the unemployment line.
Why, you little man, call me a bum. I'll show you who's a bum. Are you upstart? You elevator.
20 after 11 at 560 WQAM. Happy Friday, happy Memorial Day. Let's see, fatal attraction, somebody says, which they're entitled. We'll put it on there.
Yeah, they are.
They're entitled to their opinion. I wouldn't agree with that because I'm trying to think of what Michael Douglas is in it. Is he hot? No. Glenn Close is in it, so isn't even like
close.
Even close to a lukewarm. Ann Archer's not bad, but she don't do anything in there.
No, correct.
I mean, I've seen that movie how many times?
About 30, man.
Good movie, which they made with 2 separate endings, by the way, which I take great exception to that.
You know, the rabbit was hot.
For a little while, yeah, in the pot. Hot in the pot. Like Duffy said, he's hot on the pot.
Rectum.
Is what I'm hearing. But anyway, that's what the doctor told him on Tuesday morning. At any rate, filmmaker Michael Moore says he has footage of Berg interview.
Really?
You know, I'm glad we didn't put that on our website. I had very mixed emotions about that, and I thought about it for about 5 seconds, and I thought, we're not running an S&M website. We do like putting booby pictures on there because our audience appreciates that greatly, but we're not running an S&M thing on there.
That's good, clean fun. The boobies.
Good, clean boobies. So we don't put filthy boobies on there under any circumstances unless they're nice washed
in
the
misery.
Right.
Use it to our own ends.
Only really sick, twisted people have the need to put that kind of crap on their website. Anyway, filmmaker Michael Moore, whose incendiary new documentary lambasted President Bush's handling of the war, said yesterday he has footage unused in the film of Nicholas Berg, the American civilian leader beheaded in Iraq. The footage of an interview with Berg is approximately 20 minutes long. We are not releasing it to the media, Moore said in the statement. It's not in the film. We're dealing privately with the family. Neither Moore nor his representatives would describe the nature or contents of the interview with Berg, who held staunch pro-war views. No one answered the phone Thursday at the home of Berg's parents in Westchester, PA. Fahrenheit 9/11, which recently won the top prize at the Cannes Film Festival, accuses the Bush camp of stealing the 2000 election.
Absolutely.
Overlooking terrorism warnings before 9/11.
Absolutely.
And fanning fears of more attacks to secure American support for the Iraq war.
Absolutely correct, sir.
Which is kind of interesting because here we go again with that bogus press conference on Wednesday. Well, we got more at them. We got these 7 people, and et cetera and so on. It's really, I think the Democrats, if anything else, they should all be doing like Al Gore. They should all be screaming and hollering and carrying on like crazy. How dare you be doing this and playing with the emotions of the public and using these scare tactics just because your numbers are dropping like a rock in the polls.
How dare they drag the good name of the United States of America through the mud of Saddam Hussein's torture prison?
We need a lot more like that. You go, Al. He found it a little bit too late, but for him anyway, but that's the way it goes. Oh, I like this story. Media Matters for America President and CEO David Brock. He's the Matt Drudge who's out of the closet with some balls. He saw the light. It's not too late, Matt. Come out wherever you are, sweetheart. Come out. Get rid of that silly hat. Media Matters for American President and CEO David Brock Wednesday sent a letter to Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld requesting that Rumsfeld consider removing radio host Rush Limbaugh from the American Forces Radio and Television Service known as Armed Forces Radio formerly. In his letter, Brock said that Limbaugh, whose program is broadcast for 1 hour per day to U.S. troops overseas, has spent the past 4 weeks condoning and trivializing the abuse, torture, rape, and possible murder of Iraqi prisoners by U.S. guards at the Abu Ghraib prison. Rumsfeld has repeatedly described the treatment of these Iraqi prisoners as fundamentally un-American. It is abhorrent that the American taxpayer is paying to broadcast what is in effect pro-torture propaganda to American troops, Brock wrote to Rumsfeld. I ask you to consider removing Mr. Lumbaugh from the radio network to protect our troops from these reckless and dangerous messages. Brock added that Limbaugh's comments, which contradict orders issued by the commander of U.S. forces in Iraq, barring many previously available coercive techniques, undermine the military's chain of command and may also inflame anti-American sentiment abroad, putting our servicemen and women at risk. The controversy surrounding Limbaugh's comments began when he said on May 4th, "This is no different than what happens at the Skull and Bones initiation. I'm talking about people having a good time. These people, you ever heard of emotional release? You ever heard of needing to blow off some steam? Yada, yada, yada. And a partridge in a pear tree." How do you like that? Pill-popping Nazi, and he's still on the air, and he's still spewing the same kind of crap. And probably still popping a few, if you ask me. Doesn't surprise me at all. He just found somebody to replace Wilma. Huh? In fact, we will be putting Wilma's number on our website this weekend for the holidays, okay? For anybody that needs a supply. 5670560, pound 560. In fact, that's an idea. We can have nude pictures and drug dealers on our website. How's that? I'd rather do that than have snuff films on there.
Nude pictures of drug dealers.
Right. WQAM line 9, not there. Uh-oh, see, that goes to show you when you least expect it. I might reach over there and punch one. And then... Absentee ballot law is a joke that isn't funny. And remember we were talking the other day about the Herald, and somebody said Jim DeFeedy once in a great while writes something that makes sense. He actually did it. Once in a while. And here it is. Every vote should count. It's got quotes on it. That's what Jeb Bush said upon signing a law to measure doing away with witness signatures for absentee ballots. Every vote should count. Our governor, what a kidder, Jim DeFeedy writes. If we counted every vote in Florida, Jeb's brother would be spending all of his time, and not just some of his time, falling off his bicycle on his Texas ranch. The only thing the bill Jeb signed Tuesday guarantees is that Florida elections will continue to be a joke. By taking away the witness requirement, the governor and legislature not only made it easier for corruption to take place within itself, which is a fairly amazing feat, but they've also made it much more difficult to catch. The folks in Tallahassee, at the urging of election supervisors across the state, claimed the witness requirement was too burdensome on some people and that 2,000 absentee ballots had to be discarded this year during the presidential primary because they didn't have the required signature. You don't change the rules just because a few people can't follow them. You work on making the rules better understood. After all, how hard is it to get somebody to witness a ballot? Anyone can do it. A family member, a friend, a neighbor, the mailman, your dog, anyone. And it's a good article, Jim DeFeedy. You go, it's about time. And have another donut. 26 past 11 at 5:60. Speaking of eating, this is your final weekend. Oh, that's right. We don't have no Josh today, so I better get ready. See you. Right. Final weekend to enjoy all-you-can-eat Maine lobster at the Emerald Coast. That is right. You can eat all of the Maine lobster Thermidor style only at the Emerald Coast that you can shove down your puss. In addition to this popular crustacean, Emerald Coast offers a spectacular line of mouth-watering delights. Start off with choice of 6 soups, a 30-item salad bar.
About 30, man.
Oysters on a half-shell, sushi, roasted duck, Hunan fish, just to name a few. If you still have room, try the hand-carved prime rib. They're new Thai specialties, and of course the Maine lobster Thermidor. Emerald Coast promotes only healthy living because they don't use any of their crap in their cooking. They cook only with canola oil, a cholesterol-free oil, and they don't use any MSG or cornstarch, no crap. And how about those desserts? It doesn't say anything in here about... Huh. How about those desserts? Emerald Coast has gotten out of the world desserts selection featuring such favorites as chocolate-covered strawberries, cream caramel, hot Belgian waffles, and an ice cream bar with all your favorite toppings. A perfect ending to a gigantic feast fit for a beast. Emerald Coast, 3 locations for you. They're in Sunrise, Sunny Isles Beach, and Pembroke Pines. And believe me, they do have delicious, no matter what this spot says. Emerald Coast recently voted the #1 Asian gourmet restaurant by readers of the Sun Sentinel, WSVN Channel 7, and Zagat Restaurant Review for the past 3 years, as a matter of fact. For reservations, call 954-572-3822. Take the whole gang for an unmatchable feast at the world-famous Emerald Coast Chinese Buffet.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Friday, you bastard.
Hi, I'm Sally Struthers, and every day millions of children in this country don't have access to the food they so desperately want to eat. Many will go to bed hungry tonight, hungry for that 4th toaster strudel. Won't you please help? feed the fat children? Yes, for only $1.89 a day, roughly the price of a box of Ho-Hos, you can sponsor an obese child through the Feed the Fat Children Foundation. In return, you'll get a wide-angle photo of that special child, plus handwritten notes written on Krispy Kreme napkins. Won't you help feed a fat child? A child like Timmy here. Say hi, Timmy.
Hi, I'm Timmy. Help me, I'm starving.
You'll swell with pride as you watch your child swell with pounds. So please, supersize your heart and call now and help feed the fat children. This is Sally Struthers saying thank you. Timmy, can I have a bite of your ring ding?
No, it's mine.
Give it to me, you little tub of lard.
You can't have it.
No.
She's a giant in the industry, make no mistake about it. Poor Sally. 11:33, 27 till noon. We got the Mad Dog doing a show at Hooters on Pines Indian University at 2. Here's Sean, who says, can I recommend Excalibur? And I can't read the rest of it, Sean, because obviously back in the day I could have, but not no more. You'll understand. You got it?
We got it. Excalibur.
Okay.
He was talking about that scene in Excalibur.
Yeah.
Where Uther.
In full armor.
In full armor, yeah.
Right. Wasn't that in Full Metal Jacket? Anyway, Making Love with Harry Hamlin and Michael Onkeen. I can't believe our good friend Alan in Key West misspelt it. Michael Onkeen, he put a T on the end. But at any rate, I guess it was a good movie. Kate Jackson was in it. Harry Hamlin was, I don't think had to act too much. He was married to whom again? From Knots Landing?
Nicolette Sheridan.
Right, very good. In fact, she was probably akin to Sheridan on Passions, but anyway, Harry Hamlin, I always thought, well, of course, when I say he was married to somebody, aren't they all married to somebody? Isn't Rob Lowe married to somebody and has a whole bunch of kids? Wasn't David Cassidy married to somebody and had a whole bunch of kids? Isn't Tom Cruise been married a couple of times and had, maybe adopted some kids? Right?
Right.
Everybody's married. Rock Hudson was married, for Christ's sakes. So Harry Hamlin, to me, he just seems awfully swishy. Now, I don't know. I mean, I don't really care one way or the other. They don't do anything for me, but he just seems awfully, doesn't he? Or is that just my,
I hadn't noticed.
Oh. Harry Hamlin, yes, you did.
Well,
And Michael Onkeen.
He did that, Clash of the Titans, and he was Greek.
He was in a Greek movie?
What does that say?
Let's see. Steve from Davie says, don't know if anyone's mentioned this movie yet. No, they haven't. Sirens, it says, was a pretty movie. Sirens, got it?
Yeah, we got it.
I can hear them right now, all them sirens. What movie, not X-rated, is the hottest you have ever seen? That's our poll question. And I think they like the poll, although I think they like the naked pictures today of Nell McAndrew better. Because we're getting a phenomenal response. And there's nobody in town. That's the amazing part of it. You can tell by the votes. But boy, oh boy, are we getting a tremendous look-in view there on our 2-for-1 holiday pictures. It's like a little bonus for you, just for the holidays. Keep you out of trouble, keep you off the streets. What movie, not X-rated, is the hottest you've ever seen? 9.5 weeks. I'm sure we did do this now, but it's a long time ago.
Yeah, it's a good one.
A couple of years, anyway. And 9.5 weeks won then. 47, Body Heat 46. We got a battle going on. Blue Lagoon 19, Showgirls 19, Wild Things 18. Basic Instinct 13, Monsters Balls 12, Eyes Wide Shut 10, Two Moon Junction 7, The Hunger 6, they're hungering for it, Unfaithful 5, Summer Lovers 5, Return to the Blue Lagoon 4, The Story of 3, Fatal Attraction 3, Embrace of the Vampire 3, Wild Orchids got a pair, Paradise had a pair, Secretary 2, No Mercy 1, and no votes yet for Sirens of Personal Best, which went on there only moments ago, 227 votes. See what I mean? Ordinarily by this time we'd have about 300 votes at least. But, well, maybe their movie didn't go up there yet. That could be it too, see?
Possible.
Or maybe just if I would take some more calls and shut up, maybe we'd get a lot more movies on there. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how are ya?
Pretty good, sir?
All right, two things. First of all, for the movies, I like to go with Entity.
Entity?
Yeah, I think that's what it was called. The Entity.
Isn't it The Entity?
Yeah.
The Entity, okay.
Yeah, when the girl got...
Ghost rape.
Yeah, that was something. And second, as far as, our U.S. soldiers abusing the Iraq prisoners and all that, the dog collars and stripping them down and all
Abu
that.
Ghraib.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically that's just a Saturday night at the trapeze for me and my wife. So I really don't see the problem.
Okay, well, have a good time. Watch out for the BS, by the way. Is there anything to say at this point?
No.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. WQAM, hello.
Neil,
Yes, sir.
got one for your poll.
All right.
Sliver.
Sliver?
That's what he said.
That's a sliver. I'm just trying to imagine where they had the sliver.
Rectum.
I just, trying to picture that in my mind. WQAM, hello.
Hey, I think
Yes,
I
sir.
have the winner for your poll.
Okay, this is the wiener.
The Graduate. It's an older one, but when Mrs. Robertson kick her leg up in the air, it makes me go la 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 la.
I'll tell you one thing, Anne Bancroft was almost as sexy in that scene as the one where she said,
You ate the yoni!
yeah, almost. Mrs. The Graduate, okay?
Yeah,
I don't see
okay.
anything at all sexual about that movie because it was all like,
Well, there was a scene in the strip club with an airplane act.
Oh, I see. Oh, speaking of strip club, what was that movie that Chris Atkins was in, which again, you wouldn't be interested in, but what was that movie?
A Night in Heaven.
A Night in Heaven. Boy, I can't believe you know that. And what about Boogie Nights? That was had its
They
moments.
got women in all those movies that you're naming there.
What about Boogie Nights?
Yeah, exactly. Heather Graham, naked.
What's not to like in there? And since we're talking about people we like a lot, like Jennifer Connelly, boy, I'll tell you, she really is great. She's good.
She's beautiful.
I'm not just talking about how beautiful she is. I'm talking about she's a good actress.
Yeah, she is.
Because I saw the end of Beautiful Mind again the other night. It was on somewhere, and I watched the last 20 or 30 minutes. And I still don't like Russell Crowe, but he's a good actor, and she's a great. But anyway, what's wrong with our favorite, Requiem for a Dream?
For erotic? She's done more erotic.
I understand, but what's wrong with the ask to ask? Can we still say that?
No.
Let me ask somebody. Let me ask our program director because
Rectum.
Ass is his middle name is what the doctor said. No, seriously.
The situation surrounding that scene made it not erotic for some of us.
Why is
It
that?
was more tragic than anything. Well, you
It
didn't
was
really
tragic.
see anything.
Oh, yeah,
for
come
one
on.
thing.
Well, you're misreading a lot of people out there, a lot of desperados.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, for them, I understand, but it's...
Well,
yeah.
I'm just telling you right now, Requiem for a Dream needs to be on there. Make no mistake about it. I guarantee it ain't no sliver, but it'll get a vote or two. 20 till noon at 560 WQAM. Oh, there we go. No, you don't have to cut it down. In fact, I got it here myself. Which I'm surprised you actually got that now. Since
we had it around.
Since your DCS is so barren of any good stuff. That's another reason I can't stand being in South Florida is because every time I come into that studio, it's like I'm operating with a handicap. Speaking of handicapping, don't forget a week from tomorrow it's the Belmont and smiley, smarty-ass Jones will win the Triple Crown. I was thinking this morning while I was shaving, and don't ask me why, I was thinking in the 70s, boy, if you're a horse fan, or even if you weren't, what a great time it was. 73 Secretariat won a Triple Crown. 77 Seattle slew, and the Frenchman didn't fall off, Jean Crouget. And in 78, Affirmed in Aladar, those great battles. Affirmed wins a Triple Crown with little Stevie Coffin aboard. So you had 3 in like 7 years. And I think Spectacular Bid was 79 also, so you could have 4 in 8 years if somebody would have told Ronnie Franklin it wasn't a 6 furlong race. You following all of that? Good, because Dave Johnson's going to be asking you questions when he calls us next Friday.
Oh, that's right.
Summertime in South Florida guarantees 3 things: heat, humidity, and hurricanes. You can't control the weather, unfortunately, but you can control how you protect your home during hurricane season, which is already upon us, by the way, May through like November, they call it. And this is supposed to be a bad one. So here's the deal. Florida New Code Hurricane Shutters has installed shutters in over 3,000 homes in South Florida over the past decade. From panels, accordion, roll-down, or Bahama shutters, Florida New Code Hurricane Shutters makes it easy for you to pick out the hurricane protection that you need for your home. Call 954-868-4935 for your free home estimate. If you own a 2-story home, it's a real pain in the ass using a ladder to put up those shutters. Florida New Code now offers a new steel panel system designed to be installed from the inside on your second-floor windows, so forget about those ladders and breaking your neck. They'll even give you a credit for your existing hurricane protection toward any new purchase, too. So please think about doing it right now because, like I said, hurricane season is getting underway right now. This is the time to be thinking about protecting your home. Call Florida New Code Hurricane Shutters today at 954-868-4935. 954-868-4935. Florida new code hurricane shutters providing South Florida hurricane protection over the past decade.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
In Miami town at 560 WQAM.
Always been deranged for most of my life. I'm gonna change my looks, gonna make a difference, gonna be alright. As I turn on the radio, fixing up my nose, this news is blowing my mind. I got the kids, my sheets, spend the night with me, can't deny I'm a guy defending for perverted needs. I got a thing for tots and plastic surgery lines from a one-man freak show. I follow advice from our era goes. If I lose, I know where I'll go. And the next thing you know, I'm looking at the man in the prison. He's asking me to bend this way.
Rectum.
And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make your world a better place, Michael, drop the soap and bend this way.
He's going to be a busy child on the inside. I guarantee you that right now. 1147, 560 WQAM. WQAM. Here's a fact that says, how about adding personal best to the pool? It's a movie starring Mariel Like I Don't Know What It Is. Starring Mariel Hemingway as a track athlete with some really hot scenes that George would appreciate.
Like I don't know?
Yeah, like we don't know?
Saw that in the theaters.
Oh, my God. Anyway, it says also if you'd like to file up the Lindy and Pat Boone photo. Did you see this? Did you look at this? Let's get it.
Okay.
We can have a nice, crisp, clean, I'm sure it's well done. And we can stick it right on there since we got so many goodies on our website these days. It's just almost scary when you come right down to it. So we'll put personal best on there, and thank you so much. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. What movie, not X-rated? In other words, not a porno movie. Maybe I should have said that, right?
Right.
Although we haven't really had that many come up that were like Midnight Cowboy. Midnight Cowboy wasn't the least bit sexy in any way, shape, or form. Unless you're really a desperate old fag. Well, of course, back in that day, you know. What movie, not X-rated, is the hottest you've ever seen? 9.5 weeks, 54, body heat 52, and then it's way down. It's strictly a two-horse race. Wild Things 24, Showgirls 23, The Blue Lagoon 22, Basic Instinct 15, Monsters Balls 14, Eyes Wide Shut 11, Two Moon Junction 10, Unfaithful 7, The Hunger 6, The Summer Lovers 5, Story of 4, Return to the Blue Lagoon 4. Let's see. Fatal Attraction's got some too, which I can't believe. Fatal Attraction's got 3. Embrace of the Vampire 3, Secretary 3, Paradise 2, Requiem for a Dream 2. See, 2 already for Requiem for a Dream. You have little faith. We love Jennifer Connelly and we like her best ass to ass. No Mercy 1, Excalibur 1, Silver Sliver 1, Silver Sliver. The Entity don't have any yet. Sirens, The Graduate, Personal Best, and Person Best.
My bad.
Now, see, you can't get rid of that, can you?
Nope.
Eric's gonna have to, he's gonna have to bail your ass out of there. You gotta bail Miguel's out of there, Eric. He's got Personal Best and Person Best. Speaking of best person, I gotta say one thing. I know we have no hockey fans in this audience, but Dan Boyle, the former Panther defenseman, who's got a home in Fort Lauderdale still, by the way, who wasn't good enough for the Panthers, but has played great for Tampa Bay. And after the loss on Tuesday night, Dan Boyle, Dave Andrechuk in the locker room tells him after the game that his house had burned, not completely down, but his house in Tampa, $300,000 worth of damage. Electrical cord or something. So there was electrical fire, massive damage. And so he's got this, it's going to take 4 months to get back into the house and rebuild and do all this other stuff. And God only knows how much insurance he had. So Dan Boyle last night, who got knocked around pretty bad in that game Tuesday also, just played fantastic. He scored a goal and just played sensational all night long for the Lightning, who kicked Calgary ass. So the series is even now. Good game last night. Too bad nobody watched it in South Florida. Too bad we got no hockey fans, not just in South Florida, but in the U.S., eh? In fact, in the U.S., in Game 1 on Tuesday night, they did a 1.1 share, the hockey. 1.1, which means how many people watched it in the U.S.?
About 30, man.
Over 3 million people watched it on the CBC Tuesday night's game here in Canada, eh? Because we got some real hockey fans. But, you know, got a lot of pinochle tournaments, shuffleboard stuff, a lot of stuff going on in Florida. That Mahjong tournament is like a real winner in Hallandale. 5670560. I didn't hear anything about Dan Boyd. You got nothing to say about that? The kid's house burns down, and he goes out there and plays a great game and scores a goal. Defenseman, no less. Not good enough for the Panthers, but good enough for the soon-to-be champion Tampa Bay Lightning. WQAM, hello. QAM? Not there. WQAM, hello. Can we go for 2, 3, 4? Huh?
Hello?
Too late. WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil. How are you today?
Okay, sir.
Just letting your listeners know that the Highway Patrol between on the Turnpike southbound 152 to 184. I think they're stopping me with a plane to check to see if you have your seatbelt on. So
they're clicking it and licking it, huh?
They're checking from the plane.
Thanks for the bad news, Pally.
Take care. Have a great weekend, you guys.
You too.
Bye.
How do you like that? They're trying to destroy your holiday weekend, okay? They're out there. Oh, yeah, we're trying to save lives. Right. That's got a lot to do with it. If you're going like 3 miles over the speed limit on Hiatus Road there in Broward. Oh, we're trying to save your life. No, you're not. You're trying to write business, okay? That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to write more business. You're not fooling me. Well, that plantation chief, talk about a guy who needs a lobotomy. But anyway. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, how about Last Tango in Paris?
Did we put that on or not?
I thought we did.
I thought we did, but I'm glad you mentioned it again because I think we forgot about it because we thought it was originally X-rated, but then it was not. So thank you so much for reminding us. See, we argued about it. We had a big Simus about it. We even ate some carrot Simus in honor of it. Last Tango in Paris should be on there. It's not on there.
All right.
That was our bad. Now let's see. Did Eric Bale, look at that. What a nice job, Eric. He is right on top of it. In between salami sandwiches, he just bailed Miguel's ass right out. Took off that person vest, which we'll replace with Last Tango in Paris. With a slightly less enormous Marlon Brando.
Slightly. Just a tad.
Just a pound or two. Just a couple hundred pounds less than whatever he's carrying around right now. Just 250 or 300 pounds less. Man, he is just gigantic in the industry. Marlon Brando. There's one of the most bizarre people. You know, he really is something else.
What's the matter with you? I think your brain is going soft.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I got one for the poll. Hello?
Yes, I'm here. I'm listening.
The Great Texas Dynamite Chase. That was with Marsha Brady. So hot. I just want to cry, you know what? See, I think what we need to do is just forget about all the bedtime stories. Let's just put naked pictures on our website every day. What do you say? Just dozens of them, huh?
Okay.
We'll put something for everybody. We'll put male, female, animal, vegetable, mineral, you know.
Field that.
Wow. It is really something. WQAM, hello. Nice talking to you. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good?
How'd you guys forget about striptease?
It was easy. Okay, well, we got it now.
They need more. And also, I think George and Goldie should start the morning show now.
All right. George and Goldie together again. How do you like that? Yeah, you guys don't have any issues yet.
What would we talk about?
Hockey. Something you know a lot about.
Right.
5670560 about Dan Boyle, number 22. Their Tampa Bay defenseman, not good enough for the Panthers. I'll say it again. Rhett Warner, not good enough for the Panthers. But the organization, now we got the coach that we wanted, the general manager that we didn't want, but that the coach wanted, and et cetera and so on. A lot of BS again. All spin, all the BS all the time. Win some games, baby. South Florida wants a winner. They love a winner. Anything short of that, all they want to do is bitch about it. They don't have any interest. Just give them a winner. That's it. Stop the BS, Alan Cohen. You're not kidding us. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
How you doing?
Does the name Caligula be good for that poll?
Yeah, Caligula would be good. It was definitely X-rated, but like I said, it wasn't a porno movie, so we'll put it on there in honor of Gore Vidal, the great Gore Vidal. Oh! Caligula, what do you say?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. See, I should have said, it's my bad, I should have said not pornographic, but I mean, not triple X-rated. That would be even better, right? Because triple X is like a, porno movie, whereas X-rated just meant it was like a regular pedestrian movie, like Clockwork Orange.
Right.
Which there was nothing pornographic in it. There was a lot of violence, and then of course there was that scene, with the rocking ceramic penis, but nevertheless.
That was a comedy scene.
Right. And then of course there was that snake. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. WQAM, hello.
Oh, Cash Dog is an old-town douchebag.
Oh, how sad. And line 9 is always a winner, too. It's always something really good. Gives me an opportunity to mention again. Join the Mad Dog 2 to 4 this afternoon as he broadcasts live from Hooters on Ponzian University. And be sure to stop by for an autograph signing with Marlins pitcher Brad Penny. Enjoy specials on Heineken. Did I tell you Freddie Heineken died? I told you that, didn't I?
Who?
Freddie Heineken.
Never heard of it.
Okay. Yeah, you did. He's the founder of Heineken Beer, you clown. And win some prizes. That's what Mad Dog and Brad Penny at Hooters and Pembroke Pines. Now, George tomorrow is making an appearance. He won't have any Heineken because he's not going to Heineken. You're right. That's George tomorrow, noon to 2 at Intel Wireless at 15985 Northwest 57th Avenue, Miami. Stop by to spin the veal for prizes. That's Intel Wireless, an authorized Verizon Wireless agent, noon to 2 tomorrow with little George, who don't know his Heine from his can. 11:56 at 560 WQAM. Speaking of that, if you're not really sure what's going on in your can or the rest of your body stuff, nobody wants to think about cancer, heart disease, any of these horrible diseases that the Lord has foisted upon us, but it's a proven fact that disease responds best to treatment if detected early. That's why I went there a few weeks ago, just to find out if, I'm all still there, inside, outside, in between, and came out with some good test results, too. They said, look at that, the man even got a heart. Hollywood Diagnostic Center is proud to announce their virtual colonoscopy, a lot less intrusive than the traditional method, by the way. Coronary heart scoring and full-body screening exams that can detect cancer and other life-threatening diseases in the early stages while it's still in time to do something about it. Doctor's referral is not needed. For all your imaging exams, call Hollywood Diagnostic Center at 954-966-3600 for the test that can do one of two things. Either give you a heads up on a problem that's developing you can do something about, or, number two, if there's nothing wrong with you, give you and your family tremendous peace of mind. At Hollywood Diagnostic Center, they offer state-of-the-art imaging equipment with open MRI, high-speed CAT scan, nuclear medicine, and much more. This could be a life-saving call. You really ought to do it. Hollywood Diagnostic Center has been serving the community for over 20 years, and the facility also provides a complete mobile diagnostic service that can come right to you. Call Hollywood Diagnostic Center for your imaging exams today. Call 954-966-3600.
Live and local. This is 560. The radio's all yours now. QAM.
This is Dick Cheney. I like to relax by having Mary Magdalene massage my balls while listening to the Neil Rogers 12 to 1 hour.
I will tell you nothing. I spit on your interrogation. Hey!
All right. You leave me no choice. Call the special agent.
What kind of agent are you?
Insurance agent, actually. Hi, I'm Brad.
Oh, no.
If you can spare me just 6 hours of your time, I'd love to discuss our new executive whole life policy.
What is this whole life?
Are you kidding? It's an exciting alternative to term life insurance.
Exciting?
With some terrific tax-deferred benefits for all of your loved ones.
Oh,
no. By the way, are you a smoker?
No.
Great. Now, if you combine the whole life with this wonderful annuity policy, you can get the best of both worlds.
You're so
full
boring.
protection and a steady retirement income.
Oh, God, please. No, stop it.
But first, let
please.
me back up and talk about the many differences between term life and whole life.
Oh,
Now, term life may seem attractive at first because of the lower premium, but what if you become uninsurable by the end of the term? Once you become older and really need the insurance, wouldn't you rest easier knowing that coverage is guaranteed?
No!
Of course you would. I've taken the liberty of putting together this pie chart. If I can just arrange...
How dare they drag the good name of the United States of America through the mud of Saddam Hussein's torture prison?
I tell you one thing, either he got a little something the night before or he was popping a lot of Viagra's before he got up there and made that speech. He's wound up like a maniac. That was the good Al Gore that we never saw or heard even who existed before that. Man, I'll tell you, Kerry should just stay in the background, walking around like Herman Munster, and just let him make all the speeches. Don't you think?
Good plan, but it won't happen.
And once in a while, when Al's run out of steam a little bit, drag old Howard out for a good time.
Absolutely.
Not that Howard. Man. Bomb threat diverts American Airlines flight. You see this?
No.
I mean, not that people are touchy or nervous. An American Airlines jet flying from Dallas-Fort Worth to Boston was diverted yesterday after a flight attendant found a note saying there was a bomb in the cargo hold. Investigators examined a suspicious package taken from the plane that turned out to be a bag similar to a computer case, said Kelly Watson, spokesman for International Airport. Contents were nothing harmful or hazardous. It was cleared. Watson declined to identify the bag's contents. Probably in a computer case. Guess what they probably found? A computer.
Oh.
The flight attendant found the note in one of the plane's lavatories. The 129 passengers were taken off the plane, were being rescreened by the TSA and the FBI. Flight 306 left Dallas-Fort Worth at 1:46 p.m., landed in Nashville shortly after 3:30. It was a full flight carrying 2 pilots and 3 flight attendants. It was just a coincidence, said Homeland Security spokesman Dennis Murphy, that in Nashville, the MD-80 was parked near the Tennessee National Guard Airfield, where Air Force One awaited President Bush's arrival after a speech and fundraiser in Nashville. How do you like that? El Presidente departed Nashville on Air Force One about 7:50 p.m. White House spokeswoman Claire Buchanan said the incident did not affect Bush's travel plans. He's going to Italy, He's going to meet with the Pope, El Papa. He's going to tell him all about his speech he made at Bob Jones University and how they said the Catholics were a bunch of devil worshippers, etc., and so on. You think?
I know it.
And speaking of politics, which I know most of the punks out there don't give a flying crap about, but you better start thinking about it before they send your ass marching off to North Korea or Iran or Syria or some God forbidden place like that.
Syria?
I'm serial.
Okay.
Kerry surges ahead in 12 crucial swing states as Bush poll ratings plummet.
All right.
George Bush has had a warning shot from the crucial battleground states likely to decide the outcome of the presidential election, where his rival John Kerry is surging ahead.
All right.
Less than 6 months from Election Day, polls suggest that Mr. Kerry... See, Kerry is doing the right thing. Just like if Howard Dean would have kept his wife in a closet. And as long as Kerry stays out of our view too much and people don't realize how much he looks and acts like Herman Munster, where he's a lot better off. Less than 6 months from Election Day, polls suggest that Mr. Kerry is leading El Presidente in 12 of the 16 so-called swing states. He's swinging it. In some states, the lead is slight, but in places such as New Hampshire, which Mr. Bush won in 2000, Mr. Kerry's got a lead of almost 10%. How do you like that?
Oh, my God.
Though polls offer only a snapshot in time, pollster John Zogby, who made the latest survey, said if present leads in those 16 states hold true, remember I talked about this yesterday, I couldn't find the numbers?
Right.
And Democrats and Republicans hold on to the states each party won easily in 2000, Mr. Kerry will win with a margin of 102 electoral college votes. I've made a career of taking bungee jumps in my election calls, Mr. Zogby wrote in an op-ed article. Here's my jump for 2004. John Kerry will win the election. We're unlikely to see any big bumps for either candidate because opinion is so polarized and I believe frozen in place. There are still 6 months to go. Anything can happen. But as of today, the race is John Kerry's to lose. The battleground states, Arkansas, Florida, Iowa, Michigan, Minnesota. We're going to have a lot of absentee ballots with no witnesses, Jeb. Thousands and thousands, maybe
about
30,000 of those, just in case. Arkansas, Florida, Iowa, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Mexico, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Washington, West Virginia, and Wisconsin are likely to prove crucial in deciding who carries the day on November 2nd. Republican and Democratic strategists know that in at least 30 states,
about 30, man,
along with the District of Columbia, the outcome of the vote is a foregone conclusion. But in the battleground states, which were won in 2000 by 6 percentage points or less, everything is up for grabs. Not surprisingly, this is where both sides are focusing much of their effort. A poll in these 16 states will have shaken the president's strategists as they've watched his approval rating sink to between 41 and 47%, the lowest of his presidency. His aides say that in battleground states, the president has the advantage, but the new poll suggests this is not the case. How do you like that? He spent too much time talking about
Abu Ghraib.
If these numbers are correct, the Republicans are probably disappointed, said Ken Goldstein. He's probably akin to Geldy, professor of political science at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Some analysts attribute Mr. Kerry's surge to biographical ads in those 16 states at the cost of $25 million. Experts say they appear to have helped him recover from negative ads paid for by the Republicans, which criticized his voting record in Congress and questioned his national security credibility. Adam Clymer, the political director of the National Annenberg Election Survey, told USA Today, Kerry's been doing a better job lately in the battleground states, and my guess is his ads are very important in that, et cetera, and so on. So there you go, for what it's worth, okay? And, for what it's worth, somebody who knows about winning elections, especially against right-wing fanatics. Former President Clinton said Thursday the Democratic presidential candidate John Kerry is smart not to comment daily on every development in Iraq because he recognized he's not the president. Clinton also said in his memoirs due out weeks before this summer's Democratic National Convention, will not steal Kerry's spotlight, will only help the party. Speaking at his office in Harlem, Clinton said he didn't think Kerry was running too safe a campaign. Some political strategists have suggested Kerry's failing to exploit increasing skepticism about President Bush's handling of the war as violence in Iraq escalates and more details emerge about the abuse of Iraqi prisoners.
Abu Ghraib.
He's the candidate for president. He's not somebody who's supposed to give day-by-day commentary on events, Clinton said. He's made quite clear what he believes about the major issues in the news today, and I think he's shown a certain reticence. The former president said that given the seriousness of the problems we face in the world today, I think it's been quite appropriate. Clinton, talking to reporters, said Kerry should be focused on letting the American people get to know him, who he is, what he's for, what he wants to do, and then clarify on his terms the differences between himself and the president. In fact, that would be the best thing I think he could say is, I'm not George Bush. Just keep saying that, right? I'm not George Bush. And people will be going,
all right.
Yeah, thank God.
Just pronounce it right.
And then once in a while slip in a
Abu Ghraib.
Like that. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon line. What movie, not X-rated, is the hottest you've ever seen? That's our poll question today. WQAM, hello. Not there. QAM, hello.
Okay.
No, I'm wanting him to clear his throat fully before we speak to this caller. QAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir?
Yes, I'd like to add one to your poll, and it's a great movie. It'll keep you up for 2 hours. It's called Coyote Ugly.
Coyote Ugly?
Yes, ask George. He knows.
Do you know George?
Yeah, I know George. He's a good guy.
Oh, okay. Coyote Ugly. Do we have any idea what that is?
It's a joke call, and it's a joke movie.
So what does that mean?
Nothing sexy about it. Nobody got naked. All the women in there are indeed coyote ugly, even though they're not supposed to be.
I see. WQAM, hello.
Harold and Maude.
WQAM, hello.
How you doing? Is this George?
Yeah, this is George.
This is Paul. Oh, this is Neil.
Oh, hi, Paul.
Hi, Neil. I was going to throw in Barbarella.
Barbarella with Jane Fonda.
Yes.
Now we're talking.
And I have one other thing to a little way back. It was Sleepers in New York. The cardinal at the time, John, what's his name? He condemned the movie because the priest had lied on the stand, not what went on in the Spofford home for the youngsters, in case you guys weren't aware of that. And the idea of the Catholic Church comes out with their version and how they limit the movies. It's caught in the tablet newspaper.
Okay, thanks a lot, Paul.
Thanks.
Whatever you just said. Do you have any idea what he said at all?
No, I'm sorry.
Something about Covenant House and Father John Ritter, who was a notorious pedophile. I just mentioned that in passing. You know, I get so outraged every time I see another one of those stories, or somebody faxes us another one of those things, or that biography of Father Gagan the other night, and those people are still, even at this point, still defending to this day, oh, he never stole a freight train, and, oh, please, pretty please. The most corrupt institution on the face of the globe, there's nothing that's even a close second, is the Catholic Church. Spreading misery and suffering and stupidity, ignorance, and crap everywhere that they go. Tragic. All these, all the countries in Latin America, for example, with all the overpopulation, making babies like they're coming out like rabbits. And they're pouring across the border, and the public says, oh, gee, all these illegal aliens. Well, I can't imagine why. I just can't even begin to imagine why.
Yeah, I think the fundamentalists were right about them.
Well, maybe that's what Bush is going to tell the Pope when he goes over there. W's going to give him a little talking to. Say, hey, by the way, nice dress. 12 minutes past noon at 560 WQAM. Hey, if you're still nervous about buying a mattress, I mean, it's a major investment over the telephone. Forget about that, because for over 25 years, millions of smart people like even me have dialed 1-800-MATTRES for the best deal on the best brands in bedding. The easiest possible way to get you a great night's sleep for a coon's age. There's no risk because if it's not perfect in every way, just call them back for a full comfort exchange. It's completely free within 30 days.
About 30, man.
No extra fees, no strings attached. Dial Mattress is ranked #1 in customer satisfaction, and recently they were winners of the 2004 Better Business Bureau Local Torch of Excellence Award. When you call 1-800-Mattress, you get the best prices on the best brands with delivery on your schedule and the best customer service in the business. Why would you waste any of your time schlepping from showroom to showroom? Dial Mattress has the complete line of all the top names in the universe like Sealy, Inserta, King Coil, Simmons, Tempur-Pedic, and Stearns and Bananas Foster. From Kendall to Stewart, Palm Beach to Fort Myers, even in Otis, Dial Mattress can deliver the best bedding anywhere. But all you do is just reach over and grab that instrument, get off your fat ass and make that one easy call, and they'll be knocking on your door whenever you like. Call 1-800-Mattress, 1-800-MATTRES for the best deal in the universe, or log on to their website at mattress.com.
We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Friday, you bastard.
History comes to life on the History Channel. The year is 1968. Young men across America are ordered to serve their country in Vietnam. Starting tonight, the History Channel takes a historical and hysterical look back as they reported to the draft board.
All right, listen up. When I call your name, step forward to be sworn in. Richard Cheney.
Here.
Are you ready to serve your country, son?
Sorry, pal, I got better things to do. Accept this check as a token of my gratitude.
Oh. Okay, who's next? Rush. This is real name. Limbaugh. Rush is the name, but you might know me as Jeff Christie on KUDL. Poodle has oodles of hits. Here's a white boy with a questionable name, B.J. Thomas.
Are you ready to serve your country, boy?
Let me tell you this, my friend. I'm one tough-talking college dropout that cherishes my God-given right to defend it with my mouth. Now, if you'll excuse me... You come back here. No, don't touch me. Now you don't understand. There's a boil on my head. It's so big, I even named it Peter. And it hurts. Oh, I hate eating killers. I have gay tendencies, you know. I'm attracted to middle-aged white men. No! I don't want to do it.
Abu Ghraib.
From 18, somebody says 10, Bo Derek. And Dudley Moore, who's still dead. 10, how could we have forgotten about that? Because back in the day, that was considered to be the cat's meow, if we can still say that.
No? Right. It was okay. No, I liked it then.
Well, what's not to like?
Dudley.
Are you picking on Bo again?
No, I would never.
Because you'll get her worked up about Joe Costello again if you do. Oh, speaking of that, suit over Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction has been tossed out. Remember the guy we talked about the other day?
Yeah.
A split-second peek at Janet Jackson's breast is now worth $5,000. Judge Gerald Jensen in Salt Lake City has rejected a Utah lawyer's claim that CBS owner Viacom should pay him $5,000 for having to see Jackson's bare breast during the Super Bowl halftime show. I think he should have paid them $5,000.
Right, or at least $2.
Stevenson sued in small claims court, claiming as the father of 3 small children, he was led to believe the halftime show would be family-oriented. He accused Viacom of false advertising. Viacom lawyer Jeff Hunt says Stevenson should have instead filed a federal lawsuit or complaint to the FCC. Stevenson says the real loser is the consumer because now advertisers have to have a license to lie and get away with it. He's not decided if he'll appeal the case. Oh, man. Get a life.
I have no life.
Get with it. His 3 little kids saw a naked boobie for a second and a half. Man, I don't think they'll ever be able to function. Of course, when he turns on the nightly news every night and they see all these body parts and decapitations and every kind of crap that ever came down, that's okay. He ain't suing them. Because that's real life, you see, as opposed to like a breast. I mean, there's nothing real about that, especially in her case.
Violence never hurt anybody.
As violence has peaked in Iraq, isn't it amazing how we just fall into this crap, just like falling into a bucket of slop? As violence has peaked in Iraq, the Army has doubled its training requirements for marksmanship and consequently needs 300 to 500 million more bullets than it normally buys, an Army official said yesterday. They're 300 million bullets short. Damn it. In December, it signed contracts with 2 companies for 140 million 5.56 millimeter bullets for the M16 and M4 personal rifles issued to everyone in the Army. The contracts are worth a combined $16.2 million to the Winchester Division of the Olin Corps and Israeli Military Industries. We have one ammunition plant that's approaching its maximum capacity of 1.2 billion rounds per year, said Major Gary Tallman, an Army spokesman. That facility, the Lake City Army ammunition plant in Lake City, Iowa, is run by Alliant Tech Systems. The December contract only addresses ammunition for the rifles. The Army also needs 50 caliber and 7.62 millimeter bullets for the heavy machine gun and light machine gun, respectively, Tallman said. A solicitation for these bullets is already out, and an award's expected to be made this summer. Well, if they're going to wait till this summer to make an award, they better start making them pretty damn fast, right?
Yeah.
Boy. 5670560. You know that guy that was clearing his throat and came up with it? Every time we do one of these polls, he does the same thing. Just an idiot. Just I
have no life.
A moron. Just a sad old turd. And there's nothing worse than a sad old turd. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how about looking for Mr. Goodbar?
Was sexy?
It was. I think it was either Mario or Margot Hemingway.
Can I leave now? I think it was Edie Adams. She was selling those Muriels. Oh, and I missed that the other night biography had. I saw the last 10 minutes. Ernie Kovacs. You don't know who that is.
Yeah, I heard of him. Some old fart talked about him the other day.
He was great. What do you mean some old fart talked about him? I mean me, of course. No, seriously, Ernie Kovacs was great. He was one of the great pioneers, innovators of television. He was actually a funny guy, which is very unusual. And after he died in a car crash, he was driving too fast, slippery road, went into a pool, he died. Long ago, back in the 50s. Anyway, Edie Adams was his wife, and of course she was a marginal, like, nightclub entertainer, and she did the White Owl spots. You know, why don't you come up and see me sometime?
Yeah,
something like that. You had to be there to enjoy it, but I missed most of it, and it just frosted my ass. So anyway, how about that Margot Hemingway? WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
WQAM?
WQAM, yes, speaking.
Yes, I'd like to add something to the poll.
Go right ahead.
How about that movie Black Orchid?
I think we got it on there, don't we?
We got Wild Orchid.
We got, well, what the hell's Black Orchid? That's what he's talking about, Wild Orchid. It's got to be what he's talking about, right?
Got to be.
Yeah, get with it. You don't know, you better get your black and your white straight now, mister, okay? Starting to get like, what's his name there, Sammy Davis. What movie, not X-rated, is the hottest movie you've ever seen? 9.5 weeks, 71, Body Heat, 65. We got a race this time. Wild Things, 34, Showgirls, 32, The Blue Lagoon, 26, Basic Instinct, 24, The Monsters Ball, 17, Two Moon Junction, 14, Eyes Wide Shut, 13, Unfaithful, 9, The Story of has got 8, Embrace of the Vampires got 8, The Hunger, 7, Summer Lovers 6, Wild Orchid 5, or Black Orchid, or Yellow Orchid, or Pink Orchid. Last Tango in Paris 5, Secretary 5, Return to the Blue Lagoon still only got 4. It's had 4 the whole show. It ain't going nowhere. Nobody saw that. Fatal Attraction 4, Requiem for Dreams still got 3, Ass to Ass. Caligula 3, The Graduate 2, Paradise has got a pair. Striptease 2, Excalibur 2, No Mercy's got 1. Personal Best has got 1. Wasn't that Miriam Hemingway?
Right, and Diane Keaton.
Right, and Buster Keaton?
And Buster Crabbe.
And Buster, I can't say that.
No, just keep on going.
Sliver 1, Barbarella 1, 10 has got 1, 10 has got 1. The Endy and the Sirens don't have any out of the first 377 vote. That's what we got so far. WQAM, hello.
Kerry!
WQAM, hello.
Found in Angel Heart.
Angel Heart and what?
Found.
Found. Okay, I found it. That's 1, 2, 3. Got him? A good story. There was no chorus of criticism. Quite to the contrary, Cosby's remarks were embraced by several of the leading black columnists in the country, Dwayne Wickham, Clarence Page, Colbert King, Leonard Pitts Jr., and Thomas Sowell. Kwesi Mafumi, I thought Weezy was on the Jeffersons.
Hey, no.
Weezy Mafumi, the NAACP president who was on stage with Cosby, said later that not only did he agree with Cosby, not only did he make similar points in his own speeches, but that he had just heard the same points made by philosophers in his barbershop. If you would listen to talk radio or read newspaper stories about the flap, you'd think Cosby was hiding from a raging mob, but there was no mob. There was a straw mob, a phony flap. I combed the internet, the wires, and the transcripts for attacks on Cosby, and came up empty. I did discover that the head of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, Theodore Shaw, spoke after Cosby at the commemoration and pointed out that many problems blacks face are not self-inflicted, and that most of the people on welfare aren't black. That's hardly a searing condemnation. The New York Times managed to find a scholar named Michael Eric Dyson who said Cosby's comment betrayed classicist, elitist viewpoints that are rooted in generational warfare, whatever that means. I also managed to find some rather mild rebuffs of Cosby from 3 black columnists in St. Louis, Milwaukee, and Pittsburgh. Eugene Kane of the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel wrote, sometimes beating up on defenseless people is just being a bully. Cosby called Kane up, and Kane wrote a second column, further qualifying his already qualified jibes. So yes, Cosby fielded a couple of tough grounders and did issue a press release defending himself, but overall his remarks were well received, and his courage was widely praised. I'm taking your time with this to make a couple of points, writes Dick Meyer. There's too much political correctness, and the perpetrators rarely admit it. And nowhere is this more destructive than in talking about the emotional subject of race, a subject too often avoided for fear of offending. That said, the power of the PC police is grossly overestimated. Conservative talkmeisters and curmudgeons make good livings exaggerating the omnipotence and silliness of the virtuecrats, as this case study shows. Worse, the mainstream media, politicians, and water-cooler philosophers have an enormously exaggerated fear of the PC police. In researching the Cosby flap, for example, I didn't find a column by a white writer. I'm sure there were some that I missed, but I'm also sure that plenty of white writers or editors simply avoid wading into this altogether because it's perceived as too risky, too easy to be accused of prejudice or meddling. I'll get plenty of nasty mail. I'll be called a pawn of liberal bias, a capitalist tool, and a blinkered white man with no business butting in, so what? The exaggerated scaredy cat fear of the PC police on the left and the conservative cops on the right is one of the dynamics that helps remove race and problems of blacks in America from the front burner of public debate. Candidates don't like to talk about it, newspapers don't like to investigate it, columnists don't like to write about it, network newscasts don't like to cover it, think tanks don't like to issue reports about it, and celebrities don't like to speak out on it. So the issues become even more buried, pimp rap goes uncriticized, schools stay bad. I hope the phony flap gave wider coverage to Cosby's remarks than they would have had otherwise, and I hope more people with pulpits realize that the boogeyman of political correctness and racial censorship is not so scary after all, wrote Dick Meyer at CBS News on their website. Not bad, huh?
You go, Dick.
You go, Dick, and you go, Bill. I mean, you go, and you go, Bill. I can't say. Can't say that no more, okay? Or you'll be in big and deep doo-doo. Okay, got right. 21 till 1 at 560 QAM.
Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Absolutely. Rectum.
Got an inside Wall Street tip, and now she's gonna pay for it. Jury said she lied, they found her guilty, facing lots of time. I must say it thrills me to see her taken out in cover. Ow! 20 years won't be enough. Dress her up in stripes, send her to Sing Sing, put her in for life. That would be a good thing, oh Martha. Well, they got you for insider trading.
Yes.
And they'll send you away, oh Martha. Well, we're laughing so hard that we're shaking. What's your stock worth today, oh Martha? Well, you had everything, but you spoiled it. Yeah, they'll send you away, oh Martha. You'll be sharing a stainless steel toilet with your cellmate.
Now, the reason I played that, which I do like it a lot, though, is the New Inquirer, June 7th issue, which you'll get in a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. Martha was framed as the cover story. Why the government's out to get her. And also, I just noticed on the front cover, a lot of things that you ordinarily don't even look at. America's deadliest internet killer. He found victims online, and the guy's got a picture of this guy.
Yeah.
He looks exactly like Tom Jicka.
He's bloody stupid!
Yeah. Tom must have an identical twin who's America's deadliest internet killer. Do you know that?
I had no idea.
You didn't know. And then it's got stars with the best and worst beach bodies, the good, the bad, and the really ugly. If you could see Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
No, thank you.
Huh?
I said no, thank you.
Here's Uma Thurman. She's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
But here is, in fact, let me find that section. My God. But don't let me forget the Martha stuff.
Okay.
I'm not going to read the whole article. It's long. There's nothing else in this anyway. Nothing else to read. Bad Inquirer. Save your money. Where the hell is the beach people? Oh, man. Oh, here you go. Oh! Rick Ocasek. Formerly the...
Ocasek.
Huh?
Yeah.
Rick Ocasek?
Yes, he's okay.
Okay.
Rick Ocasek, is that really his name? I never heard of him. I know who he is. I mean, I see him and I recognize him, but I didn't know his last name. Anyway, he's formerly the rock group The Cars.
Mm-hmm. Lead singer.
Rick Ocasek. Ocasek. He's
okay.
Sick. Man, oh man, he looks like he's spent at least 3 months in Dachau. He is in bad shape.
Always has been.
Here's Justin Tinkerbell. Oh, jeez. Man, what a... Cameron Diaz. Looking terrible.
Okay.
I'm just telling you.
Oh, well, yeah, whatever.
It says, and you thought she looked bad in Shrek. I mean, she don't look too good there to me. And Chelsea Clinton, oh, brother. Bruce Willis, which quite frankly, if you chopped his head off, he wouldn't look all that bad. Tobey Maguire, who's like, what else was he in? Spider-Man, wasn't he in that, the Seabiscuit, right?
Right.
He played the jockey? He's got an overhang. It's just that you wouldn't believe it. Holy Christ. Paris Hilton, and it got an ass end look at her.
Yeah, bony.
It says, we're all focusing on her butt, and so is gravity. Yeah, her ass is down where her knees are supposed to be. That's amazing. Charlize Theron, impeccable, looking just fine.
You go, girl.
Yeah, she's looking good. I thought there was, jeez. Sarah Ferguson, man, she better get back to the old Weight Watchers. She's got cottage cheese thighs, the likes of which even the people at Borden's never saw.
That's not even fair.
Why?
She's British and 80.
Oh, I see. Well, what's Danny DeVito's excuse? He's American and 90.
Right.
Talk about a beach ball. He'd have been good in the Prisoner. He could have played the Rover. Wow. Here's Johnny Depp, who isn't really looking all that good in this picture, I hate to say. He's, compared to these people, looks great. Star Jones, who's got an ass like a freight train. Wow.
And the rest of her, too.
It says it's official. Her fiancé is not gay, he's blind. Oh. It's, here's another one of them. They have these, judges that they invited to make comments. It says, what can I say? I expected Al Roker to be thinner. Isn't that Al? Here's Beyonce Knowles. Nothing wrong to say about that. Here's Jack Nicholson, who's got breasts bigger than Beyonce by a long shot. Oh, brother. Uma Thurman. Didn't we already have Uma Thurman?
Yes, I had her.
Oh.
I wish.
Looking good. Heather Graham, looking just fine.
Good.
Jack Osborne, covering up his boobies, and man, oh man, what a puppet. Ted Kennedy, who's got, he's just all booby. Wow. He is just a mess.
He's also like 80, right?
It says if only they made Slim Fast with vodka.
Too much chowder.
Oh. Wow. Anyway, so there's, that's worth going out and buying it for. Now, getting back to poor Martha. Martha Stewart was framed by the government, which is out to get her at any cost, sources say. This is in the Inquirer, so it might be right. A key prosecution witness has been arrested for lying under oath, and the top attorneys tell the Inquirer this shocking development gives the domestic diva powerful new ammunition to overturn her conviction. The government wants Martha behind bars so they can make an example of a rich, powerful woman, sources told the Inquirer, but this fight's about to get even rougher. Martha's told French she's considering a $1 billion lawsuit against the government for practically destroying the empire she took decades to build, the Inquirer's learned exclusively, and our behind-the-scenes investigation found that the prospect of a new trial has brought the 62-year-old domestic diva back from the darkest, fattest corners of despair and renewed her fighting spirit. I told you I was framed, Martha told a friend upon discovering false statements allegedly been made on the witness stand by Larry F. Stewart, a Secret Service forensics lab director, and the friend told the Inquirer the government was out to get Martha because she's one of America's richest, most powerful women. They wanted to make an example of her, and that's exactly what they did. Like Eric Idle says, nobody likes a rich bitch. And so they are to nail her ass. Meanwhile, O.J.'s walking around on the loose. Kenny Lay, he's walking around on the loose. All these other corporate crooks, they're walking around on the loose. And poor Martha, they want to put her in there to cook and kick for the inmates. How you like that?
Those bastards.
Damn it. Anyway, here's how the poll is coming. Which movie not X-rated is the hottest you've ever seen? And so far we have a modest total of 440 votes, but then again, who the hell cares? So far, you got 9.5 weeks, 82, pulling away. Body Heat, 70. Wild Things, 42. Showgirls, 37. The Blue Lagoon, 29. Basic Instinct, 26. Monsters Ball, 21. Eyes Wide Shut, 17. Two Moon Junction, 14. Unfaithful 13, The Story of 10, Embrace of the Vampire 8, Hunger 7, Summer Lover 7, Wild Orchid 7, and it's Small Potatoes after that. Fatal Attraction 6, Caligula 5, Last Tango in Paris 5, Secretary 5, and down from there. Return to the Blue Lagoon still got 4. It's had 4 since we sat down here, you know?
Right.
Not doing real well. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon Wireless line. WQAM, hello.
Yes, I was just calling to comment on the thing that Neil was talking about a second ago, Rick Ocasek.
Right.
If you could mention it, that Rick Ocasek is married to the model Paulina Paraskova.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Is she also blind?
I think so.
Evidently. Okay, thanks for the bad news.
Thanks.
Oh, brother, Rick Ocasek, he must have the big bucks, huh? Or maybe he's just got a lot of nice cars.
Well, he's got big feet.
5670560, pound 560. Just you keep walking away from that line. I'm telling you right now, just dance away from it. Do a little. That's right. Walk away real fast, as fast as you can. That's my best advice. WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you read a story about the military is running out of ammunition.
Correct.
And I was just wondering, why doesn't the government issue some of those magic bullets like the one that Oswald used to kill Kennedy?
Right, man, that's right. Then we can get 2 or 3 at the price of 1. That's a good, excellent point. Save all that money.
Right. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. You're hired. She's replacing Condoleezza, National Security Advisoress, next week. Some of the magic bullets. We're going to call Arlen Specter right now in Pennsylvania and see if he can't start working on it. And the bullets, too. You're right. It's just like magic. You know, it went off in this direction, and then it went up in midair, and then went down through John Connolly's arm and his hand and his wrist, and bada beep, bada boop, and then off against the sidewalk and up in the air and all these other things. Did all kinds of magic tricks. And then landed right on that stretcher in almost pristine condition. Yeah, just out of nowhere, there was a bullet on the stretcher that didn't have a dang thing on it either. It was a clean machine. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon Wireless line. WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How's it going?
Great.
I got something for the poll.
Yes?
Scorned.
Scorned.
It's about a kid. He's in high school. His dad gets him a hot tutor. And, well, you know, she takes care of him, and then she takes care of dad, and there's a huge fight between dad and son for her. Good movie.
Sounds like our kind of movie, man. We'll rush right out and get it. Thanks a lot, Pally.
All right, Neil. Take care. Have a good weekend.
Oh, speaking of that kind of a movie, you too. Speaking of that, what about My Tutor?
Yeah.
Now, who was she that played in that movie?
Oh, I forget her name. It's
Oh,
a long time.
we know Matt LaPanzi played in it.
Karen something or other. I'll find it.
No, I'll get it. I got it right here. In my big 4,000-pound book. I might as well make use of this dang thing. It cost me about $4 million to buy this. Let's see. Murphy's Law, Murphy's Romance, My Family, My Favorite Blonde, My Life with Bushbag, My Tutor.
Karen Kay.
Oh. Matt LaTanzi, Kevin McCarthy, who played his daddy. Clark Brandon, I forgot about him. I used to like Clark Brandon a lot. Bruce Bauer, for obvious reasons. Bruce Bauer, Arlene Galanica, and Crispin Glover. You know who I thought were really funny in that movie? The gardener and the maid?
Right, yeah.
Who kept pretending that no spaghetti glazed. That was sensational. It was a good movie.
Nothing wrong with it at all. For an 83.
I thought it was very hot. I thought she was just fine. What was her name again?
Karen Kay. And,
Kay.
Her amazing talents, both of them.
Right. And the lovely Matt LaPanzi, who certainly was a lot prettier than she was, I thought, but nevertheless. He was married to Olivia Newton-Johns once upon a time.
Was he really?
And then all of a sudden he got hit by that ugly stick, and wow. And, of course, she got hit by that bulldog stick. 5670560. Look at that. Michael Jackson trial date set for, what did that say? What did it say?
I didn't see it. I'm watching Jerry.
What did it say? March 13th?
I missed it. Sorry.
It was on, they put it on there so dang fast, just in.
Be a vice presidential candidate with John Kerry, form kind of a bipartisan juggernaut. Any truth to that at all?
I spent several years in a North Vietnamese prison camp, in the dark, fed with scraps. Mm-hmm. You think I want to do that all over again as vice president of the United States?
There's McCain yucking it up with Conan.
Who wrote that line?
Yeah, that's moderately amusing. Now, they're keeping this crap on there forever. We had the date of the month. We'll get it for you, because I know everybody is sitting on the edge of their pantaloons right now waiting. WQAM, hello.
560?
What is it? 560 WQAM, you got it.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Uncle Neil, I got a speed trap spy report for you.
Okay.
The stretch of 836 between the Palmetto and the Turnpike, there's like 12 state troopers. Pigs, yeah, exactly, pigging. They're pulling people over mad, so I just wanted to alert all our listeners.
Thanks for the bad news, Pally.
Be wary. Hey, shameless request, please.
Yes.
A little Eisner action.
Okay, you got it.
Have a great weekend. Bye.
See you too. They're out there everywhere, man. They're out there. I'm telling you, slow down, or else you're going to be just like Josh. Your ass is going to be in court. They're going to say court cost and about $150, and your firstborn child, and all of that crap. Right?
Right. Is that one of your club shirts?
Now, what was this deal? What were you doing? Like about 75 in a school zone, something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not too bad. Probably the one right up the street there.
They wrote him a book of tickets.
I see.
Yeah, they hooked me with the whole seatbelt and.
Well, didn't you do the ticket defense team thing?
I did.
And?
Court costs. That's it.
Like I said, you're the best, Randy Maltosh. Ticket defense team, baby.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Boy, it's the 1 to 2 hour.
Darn it, I told you, don't bother me while I'm in here.
Hi, sir.
Hello?
It's Mickey Mouse.
Oh, Mr. Mouse, good morning. How are you?
What the hell are you doing to me?
Nothing, sir.
You're freaking killing me.
No, I'm not.
I got David Kelly calling me every 3 minutes. Why did we move the practice?
Sir, you told me to move the practice.
I didn't tell you anything. You must have misunderstood me.
No, sir, you said move the practice to Monday.
Hey, listen, buttwipe. I'm the boss. I make the decisions. You take the heat.
Right.
You move the practice.
Okay.
How we doing with it anyway?
Oh, my.
Hold on.
What
Remus.
Yeah, boss.
Shut the hell up. I'm on the phone, Remus. Eisner.
Yes, sir. What was your question?
I'm telling you, I'm going crazy over here. Between David Kelly and now Michael Jackson calling me every 3 minutes, I'm going to go out of my freaking mind. Hold on. Remus!
Can't hear you, boss.
Stop it, Remus!
I'm sawing the floor, boss.
Stop sawing the floor, Remus! Remus! What's this in my hand, Remus?
That's your penis, boss.
My other hand, Remus.
Oh, that's the phone, boss.
Right, I can't hear anything, Remus. Stop sawing the floor.
Sorry.
Eisner.
Sir, the moves are working out very well. The practice is fourth in its time slot and moving
Fourth
up.
in its time slot? Christ, are we even beating the WB?
Barely.
Oh, my
And
God.
the Michael Jackson thing was a rating success.
Of course. Hold on a second. Remus. What the hell are you doing with a harmonica,
Just
Remus?
playing a little song for you.
Don't play it, Remus. I'll jam that thing down your throat. And get that bluebird away from me.
Oh, come on, Bluebird.
I'm allergic. Eisner.
Sir, over 25 million people saw
Shut up, Eisner. Listen.
Yeah.
You see me, what I'm doing here?
Sir, you're on the phone.
I know I'm on the phone. Do you see what I'm doing? Use your imagination for crying out loud. I'm moving my hands up and down, side to side. I'm the puppet master. I say it, you do it. Now Fox is going to air all the stuff that you cut out of the Michael Jackson interview.
But sir, you told me to edit out all that stuff to make him look like a freak.
Puppet master, me. Idiot. Oh. Remus!
Yeah, boss.
What the hell are you doing now?
Fixing the floor, boss.
There's nothing wrong with the floor, Remus. What's this in my ear?
That's your penis, boss.
My other ear, Remus.
Oh, that's the phone, boss.
That's the phone, Remus. Get out.
Come on, Bluebird.
Get out. Eisner?
Yes, sir.
Killing me. Killing me.
I'm sorry, sir.
Killing me.
Sorry.
Killing me softly.
104 at 560. It's our mammoth, gigantic 1 and 2 hour. Don't forget, George will be working on Monday, even on a holiday. Hardest working show on radio. Even harder than Tom Joyner. Ain't we?
Jock.
Well, no, he's terrible. Remember the day that he came in? You probably don't remember it. IOD?
No, I do.
and I was in a production studio, and he came in with his entourage there, and I was just wrapping up whatever I was recording in there, and man, they acted like, what you doing in here, white boy? Just get out of here real fast, that kind of crap. I flew out of there.
Yeah, I thought he was a fly job.
Yeah, I did fly. Anyway, in fact, there are a lot of us in the business who can fly. The federal officials, speaking of that, what another great segue. You won't believe this story. The headline, terror threat boosts U.S. airport security. Man, I must have a horseshoe slipped into me somewhere. I know Duff said he's got one himself.
Rectum.
Attention, men.
The federal official in charge of the nation's airport said today security's been stepped up a notch in the face of renewed terror warnings this holiday weekend, and said authorities are asking the public to be vigilant. If they see anything unusual, report it. An unattended package, something that just doesn't look right, even odd behavior in the terminal around the aircraft, FAA Administrator Marion Blakey said on the Today Show this morning on NBC. She said photographs of 7 suspected terrorists released Wednesday by the FBI are everywhere, even though 2 of them are dead and some of them may be in prison. It's the other way around. And that screeners have been redeployed to some of the busiest airports in anticipation of heavy Memorial Day holiday travel. Let me just say one good thing about Miami International Airport, okay?
Yeah.
They're doing a good job. They really are.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I see you didn't think I was going to ever say something like that. I mean, no, they've been rated as being one of the very best over these past couple of years since all the horrendous crap has been going on. And they really are. They're doing a damn good job. They're very thorough. They're more thorough than, I was in the airport in Copenhagen, in Amsterdam, which they're very lax. In, where else was it? In Rome. Although they do stand around in a very menacing way still with their Uzis on their shoulders in Rome. That's always been like that. Just a whole bunch of them. And Toronto here, which come see, come saw. But boy, in Miami, they are really very thorough. And they make the thing with the shoes off and the whole deal, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm serious. They really are doing a good job. See, far be it from me to always be Mr. Negative. I know you like that a lot better, especially those people who don't speak English at the airport. But anyway, with 200 million people expected to fly over the summer months, 200 million. They said a number of things that travelers can do to make their trips easier and quicker. One of the first things I do is go to my PDA or telephone, because now we have a brand new service, www.faa.gov/wireless. Oh, everybody will remember that. And you can go on there and actually pick up what the story is at your airport before you go, she said on NBC. Are you running into any ground delays? Is there weather to be aware of? In fact, you can go on your specific airline and see what the story is on the flight. What's the story? It lets you schedule. You're more in control, and it really does give you a way of understanding the situation rather than just getting there and saying, what's going on? Isn't that what you always say when you go to the airport? That's what I always say. I walk in and, what's going on? And they all look at me like, oh, he must be one of the terrorists. The same information is available on the regular FAA internet site for people not using a wireless device, such as a personal digital assistant or cell phone, etc., PDA, yada, yada, all of these things. I don't know if I'm going to take any calls this hour because I got a lot of important stuff. I realize that there are a few people that care. Not too many.
About 30, man.
But I got some stuff here I want to read, okay? And I don't really care if anybody likes it. I'm going to do it for myself.
All right.
No, you know Eric Alterman, who wrote
not
What
personally.
Liberal Media? Huh?
Not personally, no.
Oh, well, anyway, Eric sends his best. Hawks eating crow. I think all of these are on our website, so if you don't, if you want to go somewhere else, be my guest. But I'm going to read them anyway. Hawks eating crow.
I like that one.
The Bush administration has not made it easy on its supporters. David Brooks now admits that he was gripped with a childish fantasy about Iraq. Tucker Carlson is ashamed and enraged at himself. Tom Friedman, admitting to being a little slow, is finally off the reservation. Diehard Republican publicist Bill Kristol admits of Bush, he did drive us into a ditch. The neocon fantasist and sometimes Republican speechwriter Mark Halperin complains on the Wall Street Journal editorial page, the movement's Pravda, of the inescapable fact that the war has been run incompetently, with an apparently deliberate contempt for history, strategy, and thought, and with too little regard for the American soldier, whose mounting casualties seem to have no effect on the boastfulness of the civilian leadership. Most of the regretful hawks blame the administration for its failure to execute what they consider a noble endeavor. But it is a noble endeavor only in the way that it would be noble to give all your money to one of those deposed Ethiopian princesses who fill your inbox with pleas to send them all your money for a guarantee of future riches. In other words, yes, while it might have been nice to liberate Iraq from Saddam's clutches, it was a lot more likely that under Bush, Cheney, Rumsfeld and company, we would end up arresting innocent people, holding them without trial, and systematically torturing and sexually humiliating them, all the while saying, as the Daily Show's Rob Corddry put it so brilliantly, remember, it's not important that we did torture those people. What's important is that we're not the kind of people who would torture those people. Yeah.
Say it again.
As the Daily Show's Rob Corddry so brilliantly put it, remember, it's not important that we did torture these people. What's important is that we are not the kind of people who would torture these people.
Abu Ghraib.
Right. Take a look at the sequence of events leading to the revelations about the
Abu Ghraib
scandal in the New Yorker. It began, as Seymour Hersh notes, with Rumsfeld's desire to extract information from informants about the location of certain high-value targets in Afghanistan, along with his unwillingness to apply the terms of the Geneva Conventions to prisoners captured in the war on terrorism. Next came the bait-and-switch application in Iraq of tactics drawn from the war on terrorism, upon which Bush and his administration had based their entire case for offensive war. Add to this the refusal to provide the military with sufficient manpower resources to carry out the necessary task of the occupation, and throw in a willingness to use what one former official quoted by Hersh terms recycled hillbillies, untrained, inexperienced, and overworked in a military prison located inside a hostile fire zone with rogue interrogators and virtually no nighttime supervision.
Abu Ghraib.
Right. All of this made something like what eventually took place at the
Abu Ghraib.
All but inevitable, just as the administration's aversion to accountability dictated the attempted cover-up that followed. The abuse was called to the attention of the occupation authorities as early as May 2003, and in November a scathing report of the International Committee of the Red Cross was reviewed by senior U.S. military officials in Iraq a full 2 months before the Army launched its investigation. Amnesty International had complained last summer of Iraqi detainees being subjected to crude, inhuman, or degrading treatment. Aides to Colin Powell and Paul Bremer insist that they, too, raised concerns within administration circles, but were ignored as well. Nothing was done to put an end to the officially sanctioned sadism, which also turned out to be a propaganda gift to anti-American terrorists the world over, until mid-January of this year, when the whistleblower specialist Joseph Darby turned over photos to the Army's Criminal Investigation Division. The existence of an internal Army report on the
Abu Ghraib
abuses, according to Time, was flatly denied to Intelligence Committee Democrats when they asked the Pentagon about it in January. In February, when Major General Antonio Taguba's report confirmed the earlier charges and provided the photographic evidence, the story was still kept secret from Congress and the American people. Finally, it was apparently leaked by one of the defendant's lawyers to Hersh in 60 Minutes too, but even then, Secretary Rumsfeld and Joint Chiefs Chairman Richard Myers professed to be almost perfectly clueless. Briefing the Senate Intelligence Committee hours before the photos were to be broadcast on CBS, already delayed 2 weeks at Myers' request, Rumsfeld mentioned nothing about the approaching firestorm. Neither got around to reading the report until days later. What was Bush's public response to the man responsible for what Senator Ted Kennedy aptly terms America's steepest and deepest fall from grace in the history of our country? It was to congratulate him for doing a superb job. In Congress, the word came from Dick Cheney's office to get off Rumsfeld's case. These are the men, not just the neocons, but self-described progressives and human rights advocates believe capable of carrying out the delicate and difficult mission of bringing democracy and modernism to the Arab world while safeguarding the security and good name of the United States. Excuse me, but just what was so hard to understand about this bunch? We knew they were dishonest. We knew they were fanatical. We knew they were purposely ignorant and bragged about not reading newspapers. We knew they were vindictive. We knew they were lawless. We knew they were obsessively secretive. We knew they had no time or patience for those who raised difficult questions. We knew they were driven by fantasies of religious warfare, personal vengeance, and ideological triumph. We knew they had no respect for civil liberties, and we knew they took no responsibility for the consequences of their incompetence. Just what is surprising about the manner in which they've conducted the war? And how pathetic it is that the only cable network really grappling with the media's failure is Comedy Central. Let's give the last word to the Daily Show's incomparable Stephen Colbert. The journalists I know love America, but now all anybody wants to talk about is the bad journalist, the journalist that hurt America, who didn't uncover the flaws in our pre-war intelligence, who gave a free pass on the Saddam al-Qaeda connection, who dropped Afghanistan from the headlines at the first whiff of this Iraqi snipe hunt. The United States Press Corps, that's who. Pretty good stuff by Eric Alderman.
I like it.
Hawks Eating Crow, it's on our website today. 113 at QAM. Voom is not just your ordinary regular TV that everybody and their brothers got, even in 10th world countries. Voom is high-definition TV delivered by a satellite dish and HD receiver. The picture is so clear you can reach right in there and grab Duff's rectum if you like when his TV show comes on. Voom is the only entertainment system designed for high-definition TV. It's got the most HD TV anywhere and provides you with all the equipment you need to enjoy the ultimate HD TV experience, including satellite dish, remote HD receiver, too. And Voom's got over 30 channels
About 30, man.
of HD programming. You can watch ESPN in high definition. That's 3 times more than you get from cable. And they've got all your other favorite channels, too, like HB and MTV, even those local channels, too. Voom has got a total of over 120 channels of great entertainment. Voom even has exclusive channels of HD movies, music, and sports that you cannot get, period, from your cable or satellite company. So with Voom, you get all the channels you get now, plus all these new, awesome, high-definition channels, too. Call VOOM today for that limited time offer, but you better do it right now because the offer ends Monday, May 31, this coming Monday. Call toll-free 1-866-848-8666 or get more info on their website, voom.com. The offer includes free installation, no upfront cost, no long-term commitment. Call them today because time's running out. Call 1-866-848-8666 or online it's voom.com.
My and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
The good name of the United States of America through the mud of Saddam Hussein's torture prison.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Tulsa, Ottawa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Mattawa, We're going to South Carolina, and Oklahoma, and Arizona, and North Dakota, and New Mexico, and Texas, and New York. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. We're going to California, and New York. We're going to South Dakota, and Oregon. Devil, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. And North Dakota, and New Mexico. I've been to Boston, Charleston, Dayton, Louisiana. And Oregon. We're going to California and Texas. Santa Fe, Colorado, Glen Rock, Black Rock, Little Rock, Austin. We're going to South Dakota and Michigan. Grand Lake, Devil's Lake, Crater Lake, Deep Lake. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Devil, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House.
So you saw that gruesome story out of Baltimore about those 3 kids that got beheaded, one decapitated, the whole deal? Now comes to find out that they got, 2 suspects are in custody, and they're family members, relatives.
Uncles, likely.
Yeah, they wanted to make them say uncle. So they just chopped off their head. Maybe they were like the Nicholas Berg thing, kind of like inspired them.
Al-Qaeda wannabes.
Right. Maybe they're just crazy people, and that kind of like set them off. At any rate, Bob Herbert writes in the New York Times today, and I apologize for reading so much, don't I? No, I don't, because I like these stories. The last one by Eric Alderman just made a twitch in my ass, you know? It was so exciting. And speaking of Al Gore, a speech that's no joke, writes Bob Herbert. It's always been easy to make fun of Al Gore.
Absolutely.
But if there's any truth to the thunderous criticism he's turned loose on the Bush administration this week, it's time to dispense with the jokes and listen seriously to what the man is saying.
How dare they drag the good name of the United States of America through the mud of Saddam Hussein's torture prison.
Gore called the president incompetent and said the war in Iraq has made America less safe.
Donald Rumsfeld ought to resign immediately as the chief architect of this plan. Paul Wolfowitz, Douglas Steve, the intelligence chief Stephen Cambone, all ought to resign immediately. Our nation is at risk every single day Rumsfeld remains as Secretary of Defense.
If Mr. Gore is right, the nation is faced with a crisis of leadership that is perilously close to an emergency. If he's wrong, then all the folks who've made the easy jokes at his expense can consider themselves vindicated. The war in Iraq, said Mr. Gore in an interview on Wednesday, is the worst strategic fiasco in the history of the U.S. It's an unfolding catastrophe without any comparison. In an echo of the growing chorus of criticism here and around the world, he said the war has not only damaged our strategic interest and isolated the U.S. from its allies, it's also made the country more, not less, vulnerable to terror. In a widely covered speech earlier in the day, Mr. Gore said that Iraq had not become, as President Bush had asserted, the central front in the war on terror, but he said it has become, unfortunately, the central recruiting office for terrorists. The speech was extraordinary, blunt, colorful, and delivered with the kind of passion you seldom see in politics anymore. The former vice president described Mr. Bush as incompetent, untrustworthy, and said his policies had endangered the nation. The president said Mr. Gore had planted the seeds of war and harvested a whirlwind. In the view of Mr. Gore and many others, the essential problem has been the triumph in the Bush crowd of ideology over reality. The true believers knew everything better than everybody else, and the arrogance born of that certainty led step by tragic step to the war with no exit doors that were locked in today. That arrogance gave rise to the Bush doctrine of preemptive war, the contempt for international agreements like the Geneva Conventions, the dismissal of concerns by some of the highest-ranking military professionals about the way a war in Iraq should be fought, and the willingness of top administration figures to blow smoke in the eyes of ordinary Americans who were traumatized by 9/11 and worried about the possibility of further terrorist attacks. The same preference for ideology over reality has turned trillion-dollar surpluses into multi-trillion-dollar deficits, said Mr. Gore, and that same approach has led to the locking up of American citizens without recourse to lawyers or access to courts or even a right of their families to know that they're being held in secret. These and other matters are transforming the U.S. into a country that is more warlike, more brutal, less free, less just, less admirable, and much less appealing than the nation that existed when Mr. Bush stepped into the presidency in January 2001. Those who disagree with Mr. Gore should challenge him on his facts. Those who agree must look for ways to defend the honor and perhaps the very identity of the United States as we've known it. The least serious part of Mr. Gore's speech was the part that got the most attention, his call for top officials of the Bush administration to resign. As an attention-getter, it worked. But this was a speech in which the former vice president said, "What makes the United States special in the history of our nations is our commitment to the rule of law and our carefully constructed system of checks and balances. Our natural distrust of concentrated power and our devotion to openness and democracy are what have led us as a people to consistently choose good over evil in our collective aspirations more than the people of any other nation. This is a time to remember the principles that made this a great nation and to reaffirm them. I don't know what will happen in election time in November. What I do know is that the nation is facing a crisis now. The Bush administration needs to step back from the abyss its ideology has dragged us into. It may be that the president never understood what made the U.S. great. In that case, he'd be among those who could benefit most from a reading of Mr. Gore's speech. If he followed that up with a look at the Bill of Rights, it would only take a few minutes. He'd have a better understanding of what this country at its best is all about." Bob Herbert, today's New York Times. Pretty good, Bob. Boy, you go. You go and do it. How's that poll coming? I mean, people still want to know about that poll, don't they?
Oh, that poll.
Yeah, that girl. And don't forget, by the way, Nell McAndrew. Double the trouble, okay? Double your pleasure and double your fun. One on the top and one near the bun. What? That's what Screw-Ann says. Yeah, she said one over the sink and one at the hockey rink. She had to rename her new book now that all the new dictums have come down. What movie, not X-rated, is the hottest you've ever seen? That's our poll question today on NeilRogers.com on our World Flaming website. 513 votes. They're busy with it. 9.5 weeks, 94. Pulling away. Body Heat, 76. Wild Things, 50. Who doesn't like Wild Things? 51. Just see as I said it.
Yeah.
Showgirls, 44. The Blue Lagoon, 29. Monsters Ball, 29. Basic Instinct, 28. Eyes Wide Shut, 18. Unfaithful, 16. Two Moon Junction, 15. Caligula, 11. Story of, 11. Last Tango in Paris, 9. Summer Lovers, 9. The Hunger, 8. Embrace of the Vampires got 8. Wild Orchids got 8. Fatal Attraction, 6. And after that, it's very... And look at that. Return to the Blue Lagoon still got only 4. I guess that's the 4 of us who've seen it, right?
Must be.
You and me and 2 other people.
I've seen it 8 times, though.
No, you haven't.
Return to the Blue Lagoon?
You have?
Maybe 12 times.
Come on.
Maybe 30 times.
About 30, man.
I'll be danged. Anyway, 25 after 1. We got the Mad Dog at 2. Don't forget he's broadcasting from Hooters at Pines University 2 to 4 this afternoon. Stop by for an autograph signing with Marlins pitcher Brad Penny. Enjoy specials on Heineken, win some prizes. That's Mad Dog and Brad Penny at the Hooters in Pembroke Pines. And little Georgie, who needs the cash. That's why he shows up at all these deals on the weekend, even though it takes up his valuable time that he could be spending with his life and wife and family. In fact, like I said, it's a real good excuse to get out of the house. Join George tomorrow noon to 2 at Intel Wireless, located at 15985 Northwest 57th Ave in Miami. Stop by to spin the wheel for prizes. Tomorrow, Intel Wireless, an authorized Verizon wireless agent at 12 noon till 2.
Live and local. This is 560. The radio's all yours now. QAM.
Welcome to the Goldie Show. I'm going to change the face of sports radio, 'cause now I'm the voice of the Panthers and an element of modern radio. Oh, boy. I got lots to do here, like talk to the same 3 callers about sports and sports. I even got lots of hilarious comedy bits.
Coach Coker, I'm a Coker head.
Take that, Mo. That old caca. I'm the star now with my own 2 solid hours of spots. You Give me Mo.
What do you think? I can't hear you? You're on the radio, you moron.
Oh, hi, Mo.
Hey, look, maybe I was a little out of line. The things I said hit you like that.
Yeah, you were, and I'm not gay.
Sure, I know. In all fairness, that big fat old guy they stuck me with kisses me like you used to do, but he's not you.
That's so sweet. You make me almost want to come back with you.
Guilty. Yesterday my life was filled with joy. Guilty. And now I'm stuck with a guava-loving goy. Oi! You're my best sidekick and foil. I miss how you talk like a goyle. Guilty, a sport-hole Jew. I miss you.
Momo. That chance I'll come back. You monkey heave. Momo. I ain't worth getting smacked on the show that stinks. Back to sandwich and have a good time while you're waiting on the unemployment line.
Why, you little man, call me a bum. I'll show you who's a bum. Are you upstart? You little bastard.
133, with all this beer talk, the commercials and the thing with the Heinekens at Hooters today, I was wondering, about Muff. He likes a brewery now and then. You think he likes it better in a bottle or in...
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Would you like to feel relaxed once again?
27 till 2 at 560 WQAM. Jim Mandich at Hooters in the Pines, and they'll have specials on Heineken. And Brad Penny will be there too, 2 to 4 this afternoon. How's that poll coming? I'm glad you asked to change the topic real fast, please. 98 for 9.5 weeks, 76 for Body Heat, Wild Things 53, Showgirls 45, and Basic Instincts got
about 30, man.
Everybody else is way in the behind. Okay, to tell the truth, Paul Krugman writes today in the New York Times. A lot of good stuff in the Times today. Now that they admitted they got bushwhacked on Iraq, and they got led down the garden path. That just bothers me a lot. Bugs me. Their columnists, many of them are really great, but the editorial board at the New York Times, I think, needs some new pills. Come on, Wilma, you can help them out. Paul Krugman writes, some news organizations, including the New York Times, are currently engaged in self-criticism over the run-up to the Iraq War. They're asking, as they should, why poorly documented claims of a dire threat received prominent, uncritical coverage, while contrary evidence was either ignored or played down. But it's not just Iraq, it's not just the Times. Many journalists seem to be having regrets about the broader context in which Iraq coverage was embedded, a climate in which the press wasn't willing to report negative information about George Bush. People who get their news by skimming the front page or by watching TV must be feeling confused by the sudden change in Mr. Bush's character. For more than 2 years after 9/11, he was a straight shooter, all moral clarity and righteousness. But now those people hear about a president who won't tell a straight story about why he took us to war in Iraq or how that war is going, who can't admit to and learn from mistakes, and who won't hold himself or anyone else accountable. What happened? The answer, of course, is that the straight shooter never existed. He was a fictitious character that the press, for various reasons, presented as reality. The truth is that the character flaws that currently have even conservative pundits fuming have been visible all along. Mr. Bush's problems with the truth have long been apparent to anyone willing to check his budget arithmetic. His inability to admit mistakes has also been obvious for a long time. I first wrote about Mr. Bush's infallibility complex more than 2 years ago, and I wasn't being original. So why did the press credit Mr. Bush with virtues that reporters knew he didn't possess? One answer is misplaced patriotism. After 9/11, much of the press seemed to reach a collective decision that it was necessary, in the interest of national unity, to suppress criticism of the commander-in-chief. Another answer is the tyranny of even-handedness. Moderate and liberal journalists, both reporters and commentators, often bend over backward to say nice things about conservatives. Not long ago, many commentators who are now caustic Bush critics seemed desperate to differentiate themselves from irrational Bush haters who were neither haters nor irrational and whose critiques looked pretty mild in light of recent revelations. And some journalists just couldn't bring themselves to believe that the President of the United States was being dishonest about such grave matters. Finally, let's not overlook the role of intimidation. After 9/11, if you were thinking of saying anything negative about the President, you had to be prepared for an avalanche of hate mail. You had to expect right-wing pundits and publications to do all they could to ruin your reputation, and you had to worry about being denied access to the sort of insider information that's the basis of many journalistic careers. The Bush administration, knowing all of this, played the press like a fiddle. But has that era come to an end? A new Pew survey finds 55% of journalists in the national media believe that the press has not been critical enough of Mr. Bush, compared with only 8% who believe that it's been too critical. More important journalists seem to be acting on that belief. Amazing things have been happening lately. The usual suspects have tried to silence reporting about prison abuses by accusing critics of undermining the troops, but the reports keep coming. The Attorney General has called yet another terror alert, but the press raised questions about why. At a White House morning briefing, Terry Moran of ABC News actually said what many thought during other conveniently timed alerts. There's a disturbing possibility that you're either manipulating the American public in order to get a message out. It may not last. In July 2002, according to Dana Milbank of the Washington Post, who has tried at great risk to his career to offer a realistic picture of the Bush presidency, the White House press corps showed its teeth for the first time since 9/11. It didn't last. The administration beat the drums of war, and most of the press relapsed into docility. But this time may be different. And if it is Mr. Bush, who has always depended on that docility, may be in even more trouble than the latest poll suggests. Wouldn't that be wonderful, huh? Right. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah. 5670560. We can add a few more. I got a couple of more, some important things, you know. Are they important?
No.
Well, to me they are.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just doing this last hour for me today. How do you like that?
No, I like it.
Well, you like it. You always like it. I don't know why. You like it. Josh likes it because he's just sitting there on his ass not typing any more pain-in-the-ass movie titles on here. He likes it. He's sitting there thinking about how lucky he is to get his ass off with just paying court costs, going 95 in a 15-mile-an-hour school zone.
You know it.
Yeah, and those three little kids that he didn't kill them, but I mean, he just, kind of like sideswiped them. Right. I figured if it's good enough for Rick Sanchez. And by the way, the guy that Rick Sanchez hit in front of the stadium, is he still dead?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just mentioned that in passing since everybody, like Castronova. I see Castronova, my good close personal friend, who I'm sure is listening right now, even though he doesn't listen to the show. I see he's going to be on the Sports Jam. He's going to jam it Monday nights. You see that?
Yeah, you mentioned it.
On Channel 10. So all of our good buddies on there, like Hank and the Mad Dog and all the other, whoever's on there, be sure and give our best regards to Castronova. Believe you me, he needs some serious help. Mamma mia. Here, this is important stuff. Italy issues pizza-making guidelines. Pizza makers beware. Italy, in Rome, has issued strict guidelines to protect the real Neapolitan pizza from bogus copies. See, this is important stuff.
That's right.
The regulations touch on everything from size to ingredients to the type of oven, and rule-abiding restaurants will receive a special label attesting that real pizza can be eaten there. The rules issued by I know one place, it's called Est. Oh, man, they got the best pizza in the world.
SS?
EST.
Oh.
The rules issued by the Agriculture Ministry are part of Italy's efforts to protect its cuisine across the European Union, although it was not immediately clear what steps would be taken for enforcement. I think that might be it. Bogus pizza? Bada bing. Bada boom. The guidelines printed Tuesday in the country's official gazette say real Neapolitan pizza must be round, no more than 14 inches in diameter, no more than 1/10 inch in the middle, which is a crust about 0.8 of an inch thick. The texture must be soft, elastic, easily foldable, the guidelines say. The norms also specify what kind of flour, yeast, tomatoes, and oil must be used. They recognize only 3 types of real Neapolitan pizza: marinara with garlic and oregano, margherita with basil and mozzarella cheese from the southern Apennines, and extra margherita with fresh tomatoes, basil, and buffalo mozzarella from Campania, the region that includes pizza's hometown of Naples, and we're not talking about Florida. The dough must be rolled out manually and baked in wood-burning ovens that can reach the required temperature of 905 degrees, in which case your pizza is done in about 2 minutes. The regulations were approved after surveying pizza makers in Naples and surrounding areas. Restaurants that abide by the rules will get labels saying their pizza is a guaranteed traditional specialty. And when you walk in, Eli Wallach will be sitting there going, "Che pane, oli oliva," and you can just blow his brains out too.
We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
My junior, honey.
If you are gay or lesbian, Massachusetts says, hey, come on in. It's been legal for the heteros. Wait till gays find out how much marriage blows. A nice honeymoon on the Cape. Say I do and then there's no escape. 2 years later you're in divorce court. Pack your suitcase, head for Logan Airport.
Absolutely.
No frills, High bills, you'll fight all night. Goodbye single bars, hello family cars, now you suffer with us. One wedding ring and how things change. Say goodbye to a little strange. Every morning in the same old bed, you see the same face until you are dead. Soccer practice and school PTA can't escape them just 'cause you are gay. Careful what you wish for, 'cause trust us, you'll wish you were run down by a Greyhound bus.
You wearing that?
Do I look fat?
Call if you're late.
Oh, this is great. Goodbye singles bars. Hello family cars. Now you suffer with us.
146 at 560 WQAM. Michelangelo Signorelli writes, it's the end of marriage as we know it, and most people feel fine. Barring a miracle, the family as it has been known for more than 5 millennia will crumble, warned the evangelist and psychologist Dr. James Dobson regarding Massachusetts' impending first state-sanctioned same-sex marriages. Promises. May 17th came and went, and last time I checked, the family was still standing, dysfunctional as ever. The world is still spinning on its axis, the American economy keeps sputtering along, and Iraq continues to spiral out of control. The end of civilization has proven to be the biggest, most overhyped disappointment since the Y2K bug. No rapture, no floods, no earthquakes, no locusts. The firstborn of every family did not die, nor did God strike Massachusetts off the map with an almost almighty thunderbolt. The weather, from what I could gather, seemed unseasonably pleasant all the way to Provincetown, as thousands of gay and lesbian couples went across the Bay State last week. That's Bay with a B. Evangelical leaders were hoping the pictures on television of gay couples getting hitched would sicken and outrage the masses, driving millions of Americans to the barricades to take on the enemy within. The attacks on Pearl Harbor, New York, and Washington awakened the nation to peril and called citizens to action, said R. Albert Mohler, Jr., president of the Southern Baptist Theology Seminary, comparing those attacks to the Massachusetts decision. He even called May 17 a day that will live in moral infamy. Judging from most people's reactions, it's a day that's already been forgotten. So the new tack by the goofy God Squad is to claim that people are in a state of shock, experiencing a delayed response. The fact is, enough people haven't awakened, said the Reverend Lou Sheldon, founder of the Traditional Values Coalition. That's what he told the Washington Post. It's a sleeping giant out there, and when people wake up, I feel bad for the homosexuals, he said. Actually, people have woken up, and they're quite revolted. But the same gender photo pairings that got them sick to their stomachs weren't coming out of Massachusetts. They were the photos of
Abu Ghraib,
depicting the humiliating simulated sex acts that American soldiers and civilian contractors, using homosexual sex in a grotesquely homophobic manner, forced male Iraqi detainees to engage in. In that respect, the timing of the Massachusetts marriages couldn't have been better for the same-sex marriage movement. The prison abuse scandal, the continuing violence in Iraq, and the administration's handling of the war put same-sex marriage in perspective for most people. George W. Bush's approval ratings have plummeted as Americans realize that it's not gay marriage that's destroying the country, but rather the president, Donald Rumsfeld, Condoleezza Rice, and the rest of the gang in the White House. They're the ones who've taken us to war based on lies and have irreparably damaged the nation's integrity. In Congress, the federal marriage amendment seems dead in the water. Perhaps it wasn't a coincidence that the Senate canceled a hearing on the amendment last week in which the homo-obsessed Governor Mitt Romney of Massachusetts was to appear. How would it look in the middle of all the turmoil in the Middle East if reports came out of Washington depicting our senators focused on an issue that ranks at the bottom of voters' list of priorities in every poll? Several months back, I wrote that the FMA could turn out to be more of a problem for Bush than John Kerry, who doesn't support same-sex marriage either, as most voters, no matter how they feel about gay unions, have little passion to amend the Constitution or even to waste much time for debating the issue. That has turned out to be true, but I didn't foresee other factors that have further complicated the FMA from Bush's perspective. Several recent reports have noted that the proposed gay marriage ban, while a major talking point for evangelical leaders, is failing to excite the evangelical rank and file. Even if they're adamantly opposed to same-sex marriage, many are ambivalent about getting the federal government involved. It's not a black and white issue for them like abortion, nor is it one that gets them to empty their pockets and run to the polls. Just 4 months after an alliance of conservative Christians was threatening a churchgoer revolt unless President Bush championed an amendment banning same-sex marriage, members say they've been surprised and disappointed by what they called a tepid response from the pews, the New York Times reported. If the FMA doesn't energize the GOP's religious base, and if the abortion issue doesn't fulfill that function either this year, Bush's chipping away at abortion rights might make some conservative Christians complacent in 2004, Bush might get the same turnout among evangelicals that he got in 2000, which was a disappointment to Karl Rove. Meanwhile, Bush will have alienated some moderate Republicans and Democrats who previously supported him. But perhaps more important, he'll have energized many liberal Democrats and gay rights advocates who are organizing fiercely in light of his support of the FMA. Gay groups on college campuses and in community centers across the country are briskly registering new voters, painting Bush as a tyrant who's turning gays into second-class citizens. The Human Rights Campaign, the largest gay group in Washington, last week launched an ad campaign excoriating Bush, which will appear more than 85 times in gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender community publications. Even the log cabin Republicans launched TV spots critical of Bush for supporting the amendment. Most of those in the religious right who feel passionately about the FMA are voting for Bush anyway. It's quite possible that Bush's continued vocal support of the FMA will get more Democrats than Republicans out to vote. It's certainly energizing loyal Democratic constituencies like gays and lesbians. Meanwhile, the majority of voters, including swing voters, will only continue to note that Bush is trying to change the subject and focus on an issue that's not a priority for them. It's not that they support same-sex marriage necessarily, though the most recent Newsweek poll showed a slim majority supporting some form of support for a sanction for gay unions, but seeing Bush pandering to the religious right while there's so many other issues affecting the country is not going to play well. As an issue this election year, same-sex marriage may turn out to be a trap that Karl Rove set for Kerry, but which hapless W walked into all by himself. Something like that, like you've been saying along, who cares?
What's it to ya?
What's it to ya, and don't we have bigger fish to fry?
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560 WQAM.
That's so good that it's frightening, you know. I just want to play that all day. In fact, maybe you can play that all day on Monday.
All right, over and over again.
Don't forget, George will be here on Monday while everybody else is goofing off. We're like at least trying to put in, put our best 1 foot forward and 1 foot backward. And then the rest of the schedule on Monday, I guess they just don't want to know about. We got the Mad Dog coming up next at Hooters along with Brad Penny's hanging out. Here's the result of that poll so far. What movie not X-rated is the hottest you've ever seen? 9.5 weeks, 101. Body Heat, 82. Wild Fangs, 57. Showgirls, 48. Monsters Ball, 34. Basic Instinct, 33. Blue Lagoon, 31. Unfaithful, 19. Eyes Wide Shut, 18. Two Moon Junction, 17. The Story of 15. Caligula, 14. That moved up nicely. Wild Orchid, 10. Last Tango in Paris, 9. Summer Lovers, 9. Embrace of the Vampire, 9. Fatal Attraction, 9. The Hunger, 8. Bound, 5. Angel Heart, 5. Secretary, 5. Return to the Blue Lagoon. It's still stuck on 4. It's still stuck. Requiem for a Dream 4, The Graduate 4, Barbarella 4, and after that, it was strictly small potatoes. Have a great holiday weekend. See you Tuesday.
Bye. The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Go to lunch, George.
No.